This week on We Hate Movies, it's another movie where Brendan Fraser's kind of technically playing a caveman. It's Blast from the Past. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Blasting.
Bunker Boy Chris Cabin.
Oh, there he goes. And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fine program. As always, if you're joining us for the first time, we're a comedy show that takes a movie of any kind, really, and just sort of pokes fun at it a little bit. This week, we're talking Blast from the Past from 1999, directed by Hugh Wilson, rest in peace. This
Yes.
guy, hell of a fucking career.
Auteur. They invented the word for this fellow. Listen to this filmography.
Okay,
I'm sure,
please.
Andrew, you got it at the ready.
I absolutely do. First of all, he was a creator of what I think is a really great sitcom, WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
He directed Police Academy
Hell,
Okay.
and
yeah.
also wrote it. He directed Burglar with Whoopi Goldberg. I believe that's a state
Strike
tuned.
against you. There's one. against you.
Guarding Tess,
There's a two against you there.
First
I love- by
Wives
the way,
Club.
I love that Police Academy is getting the Chris Cabin pass on this story.
Of course, the Police
Yeah,
Academy is a
absolutely.
classic. What the fuck?
There we go. All right.
Don't worry, Chris. There's definitely a strike coming up towards the end of this. First Wives Club, which I think is a good movie.
It's fine.
Here we go. Reteaming with the Phrase Dog for Dudley Do Right.
Okay,
Oh,
three
yeah.
and you're out.
And
That is a demented filmography. What, like, oh my God.
And so get this. No one remembers this movie, Mickey from 2004 with Harry Connick Jr., where he plays a dude on the run from the IRS who changes his identity, and then his child, who's like too old to be playing Little League, he like secretly enrolls in a Little League, and then the kid's really good and starts making headlines, and he's like, oh
shit.
no, the IRS might be coming, man.
Oh no, I gotta kill my kid to stay ahead of the IRS.
We've always wondered, how do you package tax evasion and ladybugs?
I
Do
mean,
something
man.
weird.
it's coming up, dude. I gotta think about my own way out. So
That's
I might
actually
be
true.
watching Mickey tonight with a notebook.
Yeah.
And this dude also wrote previous episode and Burt Reynolds movie, Stroker Ace.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, my
boy.
God.
And he wrote
Okay.
the, I guarantee you it's a stay tuned down Periscope. Hell of a fucking
Oh.
filmography.
Oh, I could tell you. It's a stay tuned. I've seen that an embarrassing amount of times in the 90s.
Now, before we hit the auto lock on our bunker, I would like to hit play really quickly.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Coming soon
Yeah,
to
it's the VHS Trailer Game, America's favorite game about obsolete materials. We have been gone for a little bit. We had some
Oh,
medical
man.
complications. Certain things have kept us away from the trailer game, but the trailer game is back, and it's
Sure.
better than ever.
I thought it
Uh-huh.
was pending an investigation or something.
There were some investigations
What-
that did
what turned up
happen.
there.
Nothing substantial.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was a bunch of
interesting.
smoke. But no fire. But the
Wait.
good news is we're behind a little bit. I will be peppering this in, by the way, to the on-screen live in the next couple of weeks. So you want to check us out
Ooh.
on Mondays at noon Eastern time on our YouTube channel, where we do on-screen live, which you want to check out anyway. But we will.
That's right.
I'll be throwing at least one VHS trailer game of that in the month of February to kind of even stuff out a little bit.
There
oh
we
my
go.
God.
Okay.
This is
And now-
returning champion here. I gotta reclaim my title. Okay, let's do
Exactly.
it.
Now, in case you guys are wondering what the VHS trailer game is, it's a fun little game where I play these guys, and the winner gets to do a whole bunch of stuff, gets to choose a movie for next year. I believe, what did we say, that the winner gets the one WLM of their choice, as well as a redo. So that's 2 movies
Wow.
for the winner of this thing, and as always gets to raid the We Hate Movies slush fund for a taunting cameo of their choice.
That's
So
right.
this is fantastic. Right now, the score as it stands, oh boy.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Chris Cabot has 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew has 20. and Eric has 0. But
How's that pass? I won last year.
I know you won last year, but that was last year. We've only done 3
That's
rounds.
last-
So
And then the
Yes.
points end when the
Oh, is that
shows.
right?
Yeah. You don't get extra points after. It just doesn't keep
Aha.
going. Yeah.
All right, I'm learning.
Okay, it's fine.
So here we go. We're gonna do this as we always do. I'm gonna ask a series of clues as they go. They'll go down in point order. So the first one's worth 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, etc. If you buzz in and guess incorrectly, you're out of the round. I will say there's some subtitle stuff going on one of these titles, so I do
Uh-oh.
want the
Oh,
full
boy.
correct title.
So is it
Okay.
in French or something? Subtitles are happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So here we are. We ready? Do we have any questions?
No.
So here we go. Round 1. Game Master's Clue.
Here it
A
is.
Hong Kong action star who never really made it in America had a bunch of misfires. This one paired him with a WHM favorite impression in a buddy cop situation. Chris Cabin.
Rush Hour?
It is not Rush Hour. I have Andrew Jupin coming in right after that.
The Protector?
It is not The
Oh.
Protector.
Fuck.
We're
Uh-huh.
Eric, do you want to go on to the Tribune trivia?
Let's go on to the Tribune trivia.
It's all Eric here.
Yeah.
Director James Foley said this movie should be deliberately exaggerated visual style with multicolored fluorescent lighting, flashing strobe lights, constantly moving handheld cameras with whip pans and snap zooms, because he thought his last few movies were very boring and formulaic. He wanted to reinvent himself as a filmmaker. He originally thought the cinematographer Juan Ruiz Anicha would hate some of his ideas in mind, but he loved them. So that's useless.
Oh, God
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I will just remember, Hong Kong action star never really made it in America. Bunch of misfires. Had a WHM favorite impression, buddy cop. What's a WHM favorite impression Hong Kong guy that never really made it in America?
Hong Kong guy that never made it in
I
America.
mean, he made it in America. Everyone knows who he is, but he never had a hit.
Oh my God. How am I striking out on this? I've been watching
All right,
a lot of Hong
here we
Kong
go.
movies. Let's do the last clue.
Well, we have a couple more. Tagline.
Oh, okay.
If you have a secret, he knows it. If you have a weakness, he exploits it. If you have anything good in you, he destroys it. He is the...
You know, and can I just say, I thought of the right movie in
Yeah.
my head and got
Yes.
the fucking title wrong.
I knew you got the
Yeah,
title
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Ugh.
Here we go. Star number 2 for 2 big points. Mark Wahlberg is in this movie, Eric. Mark Wahlberg, a Hong Kong action star.
Oh my God, I think I got it.
Yeah, what is it?
The Corruptor?
It is The Corruptor for 2
There it
points.
is.
Oh, I have been circling watching this actually. Oh my God, I should do it.
Yeah, I don't even know if The Protector is a real movie, Andrew.
No, it is with Jackie Chan.
Oh, is it?
and,
Wow. Oh, wow.
Danny Aleo.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but I think I'm fair with Chow Yun-fat never really.
Chow
Like
Wasn't Crouching Tiger a big hit?
but that's not an
It was.
American
It's an
movie.
international
Yeah,
title.
And
Yeah.
was an Oscar contender as well.
But not in English, my friend.
I guess you're right. I think Bulletproof Monk erased all goodwill.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
talking
it
about.
was
Those
good.
your Bulletproof Monk, your whatever's. Okay, here we go. Moving on to round 2.
Okay.
Round 2. Game Master's Clue.
This is so stressful.
A classic, hey, let's just film a play. That never goes wrong situation. Adapts one where a bunch of dudes in a Hollywood home monologue at each other about drugs, life, and the industry, and chicks, man. Chris Cabin.
Hurley Burley?
It is Hurley Burley for 5 big points.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. Hurley fucking Burley. Anyone
Horrible
remember?
movie. Oh, my
Horrible
God.
movie.
It's Kevin Spacey and Sean Penn.
Yes, Kevin Spacey with blonde hair in that
Yes.
film, dude.
Yes, man.
Oh.
Yuck.
Yeah, it's
And
not
Chess
great.
Palminteri is around. Gary Shandling is involved.
Oh,
Indeed.
this sounds like a future episode.
No,
It's-
no, it's not.
Okay,
It's just
it's
all
not?
talk. It's bad talk, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
just like the show.
See, we can't be outpaced.
Wait
Uh,
a second. Wait a second. This is what Hurley Burley is?
Yeah.
what did you think Hurley Burley was?
What the fuck was
A Western from 1958.
No, it's I honestly thought it was some sort of like period piece or something.
No, it's just a bunch of dudes in Hollywood like doing coke, talking about ladies, as I understand. As I
Yeah,
remember
and,
it.
and like they're all drugged out. Like that's
Yeah.
the big things. They're all kind of stoned.
Oh, god damn it. I was thinking of Topsy Turvy, the Mike Lee
Of
movie.
course, yes,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
very
I did
different
it
film.
again!
Dude, you might want to get checked out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Here we go. Round 3.
Uh,
Game Master's Clue. A better late than never horror sequel that nobody wanted, released 23 years after the iconic original, exchanges the original Eric Siska.
An American Werewolf in Paris?
It is not an American Werewolf in Paris.
Boy.
It exchanged the original's promising young cast for a bunch of nobodies and pushes the OG title to the subtitle, just to be edgy. So it's a better late than never horror sequel, released 23 years. The original had a great, promising young cast. And this one had nobody in it.
So it sounds like it's something : the original title.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
That's the
boy.
thing about that. We might have to move on to number 4. Okay, here we go. Tribune
Yeah.
trivia. Aside from archived footage of the first film, Amy Irving is the only actress and character to return for the sequel. So how about that, Amy Irving fans?
Amy Irving, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's difficult.
Where's the raise hand
There
button?
goes Andrew Jupin.
Finally, The Rage Carry 2.
It is the Rage Carry 2 for 4
Wow.
big
Oh,
points.
wow,
Love
yeah.
that.
Dang.
Love
Oh.
that. Yeah, man.
I'm fucking racking my brain. Amy Irving horror movie.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Oh yeah. All right.
Star 2 is Jason London, and the star of the Rage 2 is Emily Burgle, if you'll
Mhm.
believe that.
Oh, really?
Oh, I will.
They
absolutely
burgled her
would.
into movies for a second. huh?
And now
Not great.
Hey,
Fuck.
great funny thing about The Rage Carry 2. One,
Never
I think
saw
it's totally an episode. I rented it years and years and years ago. Zachary Ty Bryant.
yes, he's involved.
He gets like a fucking like harpoon to the dick or something in that movie.
Ooh.
Or something happens to his genitalia in that movie.
It seems like we're at a
Nice.
house party and Carrie's
Yes.
not having a good time there.
Yep.
No, she's
Yep.
not.
Okay.
Instead of prom, I believe it's like a house party where this other girl is humiliated and
Here we go, ladies and
Nice.
gentlemen. Round 4. Bonus points here. It's a movie I've never heard of, so everything is double.
okay.
Game Master's Clue.
Uh-huh.
A nerdy teen gets advice from his grandpa on how to win the girl of his dreams. His next door neighbor, who was the titular star of a WB show in the 1990s. Grandpa's advice: camp out in her front lawn until she agrees to go on a date with him.
Oh, yeah.
This almost sounds like your favorite movie, Chris.
Not Angus.
No, yeah, that's what I
a
mean. Yeah.
nerdy teen gets advice from his grandpa how to win the girl of his dreams. His next door neighbor, who was the titular star of a 90s WB show. Gramps' advice: camp out on her lawn until she agrees to go on a date with him.
Interesting. This is the 90s.
Yeah, it's like this is 97. I'll give you even a year here.
I remember the cover of this is like right in my mind.
I feel like the trivia will help, but
I think
gonna-
we should move on to the
Okay.
trivia unless anyone has it.
I got
Tribute-
nothing.
tribute
No.
trivia. This film gets its name from a Beatles song.
Oh,
Andrew Jupin.
8 days a week.
Wow,
Carrie Russell.
Yeah,
8 days a week with
Yes.
Carrie Russell for
Yeah.
8 large points, my friend.
Carrie Russell.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
As long
Wow.
as Chris
have, you,
isn't getting points.
have you seen that movie, or you just kind of had that going?
No, that was like a video store cover
Yeah,
memory
got
for
it.
some reason. I mean,
Mhm.
if you see the cover, you
Yes.
completely understand why.
That sounds like an episode. A nerd desperate enough for a lady that
Yes.
he just creepily sits outside her house.
And like
Yeah.
the trailer, I mean, Carrie Russell's probably like 19, and it's like, look at this girl.
Yeah.
Look at this girl.
You got to plant your flag in her yard.
Uh-huh.
Who plays the grandfather?
That's a great question. I'll look it up. But that is the VHS trailer game. Congratulations to everyone who played.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Uh-huh.
Thank you,
Well,
Steven.
I no longer a 0. I'll
Hey.
take it.
Hey, totally, dude. Every point matters. I don't remember who was the grandfather though. I don't remember that.
I'm pulling it up.
This is strictly a I remembered the cover answer.
Not Peter Falk, is it? That would
Can't
really be sad.
tell. Father. There's Nick. There's a lot of fathers here.
You notice he doesn't even know, folks.
Sad
That's
man.
amazing.
Phil, is that him? Is it? No, I got nothing for Grandpa. No one's listed as Grandpa.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That's too
Uh,
bad. That sucked.
Thank you. So this blast from the past, huh?
Yeah, Blast from
Ooh,
the Past. It's, I love it. It opens just like LA Confidential. You gotta accentuate the positive, just kicking in with all the like showing of the old timey stuff. This time it's like atom bomb testing and stuff like
yes,
that.
atomic panic, things of that nature. And I gotta say, the amount of Perry Como you are
Woo!
you are choked with in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. He likes old timey music. Let's move the movie right along.
The thing is, this is a fine premise for a movie, but it just fumbles it. Look, it's just not funny is the problem. You know what I mean?
This is a fine premise for like a sci-fi thriller,
Yeah.
not a goofy romantic comedy. Like, this guy has serious, like, fucking mental and emotional problems. Christopher Walken should be jailed.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
Sissy Spacek will be trying to fucking kill Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah.
They try to do this thing where, like, oh, she's like sort of becoming an alcoholic or whatever, but that comes to nothing serious, you know?
Well, yeah, just like real alcoholism. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's a total joke. It's fine.
It's fine. You know, this could have been something, I think, as even a rom-com. It just needs to be 30 minutes short.
Exactly.
Yes.
It has to be 90 minutes on the dot,
Well,
and that's it.
The original sin of this movie is when they go down to the bomb shelter that we don't just cut to 30 years later. The
Yeah.
fact
Yep.
that we keep cutting in every we watch this kid grow up. We watch Joey Slotnick grow up.
Yes.
Joey
Steve,
Slotnick.
we got these sets, and we're gonna get all the money we can out of them.
Yeah,
we
that's a
built
good
this bunker to look like mid-century modern, an underground bunker for this atomic war we were supposed to have. Still waiting for it, folks.
We built this bunker.
Yes. We start on a party. Sometimes people have like a paint party, like come over, paint my house. They decided to have an exposition party, come over and just tell us what the movie's gonna be
Dude,
about.
no
Yes,
shit,
yeah.
right? I love this guy who's just like drinking in Christopher Walken and Sissy Spacek's house, and he's like, I guess he's telling the new guy in the neighborhood
Yeah,
like what's
uh-huh.
going on. And he's like, so you see, the house we're at right now, the guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like giving it like, oh yeah, he's an inventor, he's a lunatic.
Don't mention communists here, okay?
Yeah, he'll take your throat right out. If you say commies in front of him, he'll just take you right out.
I believe this mustachioed guy is the dude from Cliffhanger, the heavy in Cliffhanger.
Yeah, one of the heavies, yes.
Yes.
And Chris Walken's entertaining everyone, telling this joke about a duck. A duck goes into a drugstore to buy lip gloss.
Dude, it's another thing where he's talking about like anthropomorphic
Yep.
animals,
Yeah.
just like the mice in
Two
Catch Me If You
mice
Can.
go to
Yeah.
a drugstore. Wait, hold on. I messed that up.
And what does the duck say? But put it on my bill.
Two mice and a duck, 35 years underground, all dead because it's two mice and a duck. They don't live that long.
Where you going tonight, Adam? Somewhere exotic, like the living room? We're trapped down here.
I'll tell you what's rad about this bunker, dude. They're fucking living on the set of Dogville in this beginning
Yes.
of the movie.
Yeah, for a
It's
bit.
like we got walls, but like there's no fucking ceilings to anything.
There's
kinda-
something really like sad about going to the yard room.
Yeah, the
Yes.
yard room is kind of great. I mean, like, and the thing of it is, when they play too much of Sissy Spacek, who's a great actress. 'Cause
Absolutely.
she needs something to do. They make her like sad and stuff. It makes it so much worse. Like, to make this a comedy, she needs to be like a flighty dumb mom that's always
Well,
like,
it-
I made marshmallow squares or something
Right.
like. Having her have an inner life where
Steve-
she wants out is so sad.
Steve,
It
I'm
is.
sorry to bring this up, but of course, this was 99. Mothers were not allowed to talk in movies. This is not,
True.
they did not allow this. Like, you can be a little alcoholic. Like, that's the whole joke. Literally, the
Yes.
whole joke is she's an
Yeah.
alcoholic. That's it. Period.
I don't know if
Done.
that's reflective of the 90s. This is just a bad script.
Sure, yeah, but you know, I would obviously be an alcoholic in this situation, but
there's a real chance of a family annihilation here, and the
Yes.
movie doesn't bother to
Right.
sniff that out, and that's what's kind of weird. This movie's too innocent for its own good.
I'm an alcoholic in this current situation. There, my God, what would it be?
I mean, but that I'd be afraid. We say that she likes the drinking sherry. Like, how much did Walken buy for 35 years? I mean,
about
like,
to ask.
or are they,
'cause-
are they making Pruno down there? Like,
Well,
what's
dude,
going
no,
on?
no,
Must
no,
be.
no, no. They're stacked, dude. This is 1962. They go down into the bunker at the start of the Cuban Missile Crisis, and back then there's no such thing as alcoholism. So you know that he was fucking stacked to the
That's
gills.
true.
with booze.
It was just normal thing, and
yeah.
During the height of the pandemic, like I would go to the liquor store
Oh,
and I would walk out with a duffel bag like I was fucking Tom Sizemore in Heat and just carry this thing across the street.
Steve, they would go and get me a box in the back room.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's-
Oh, here
God.
comes box guy again.
Oh,
Somebody
my
go set him
God.
up.
I had nowhere to go. I had a shed at the time that I put stuff in. There was a beer shed going on.
A
It was
beer
sad.
shed.
It was sad times. So I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
imagine. I don't know, a little bit of drinking sherry for 35 years. I don't know.
And by the way, at least, not to paint the pandemic in a rosy picture, but at least we could watch TV beyond film strips of the honeymooners.
Yes.
Dude, and I got to tell you, a nice detail here for a fucking total loser like me is when he starts it the first time, they're watching the honeymooners, and it's just like some little 16 print.
Good
And he-
show, by the way.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
trying-
great
not
show.
trying to
No, 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 no.
disparage it.
No, not at all. But what's cool for me, and literally only me, starts it up, good looking print. He's got this little like mirror device so they can watch it on a fake screen, but the text is all reversed, but it's the honeymooners, so it doesn't matter. And as the opening half hour of this movie before you see Brendan Fraser at all, every time they cut back to watching the honeymooners, the print looks worse. It's like scratched and
that's
it's
kinda cool, yeah.
dirty and so
Oh, wow.
just from like the continued use. And I thought that was such a cool detail because it's like, yeah, while you're stocked for 35 years of whiskey and cooking sherry, you're not stocked for 35 years of various film entertainment.
That's
you
true.
know what I
No.
mean?
I did not spot that. That is a cool detail. And Christopher Walken's like smoking pipes and shit in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It
yep,
is-
definitely.
Pipe tobacco is one of the main things he asks for. That's like
Yeah.
top of the list. And it is too bad that they didn't have other things to watch. All they did was like learn German perfectly and French,
Yeah.
and probably read all the books of the Western canon.
Another thing that kind of annoys me is like they paint Walken as like this, it's just a blanket genius.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it's like, yeah, he's like a sciencey guy, engineer of some type. That doesn't translate to like, you can easily and swiftly like learn all these languages. Like he's just too much of like a Renaissance man.
Yes.
It's kind of weird.
And
It
I mean,
is,
it
it
gives Brendan Fraser what he always gets in these fish out of water movies,
Right.
which is superpowers for no reason. Because, like, I'm sorry, Link, you thawed a caveman from the Ice Age, and he happens to be alive. His bones are made of nothing. He's not
Yep.
he's not super strong. He's not running around. He's dying immediately from
mean,
the oxygen.
This is very much Encino Man as well.
Yes.
But also here, the same thing could work here. Like the muscle fatigue of living in 3 rooms for 35
Jesus
years.
Christ, I can't even
Yep.
imagine.
He's not going to be this big old hunky man.
Oh,
That's-
wait.
I mean, again, they like cover that up with like, he takes dance lessons all the time. And
Yeah.
Christopher Walken's like kind of teaching him how to box in one
Well, yeah,
scene or whatever.
They had to cut out the scenes where you see the track he built for them to run and get daily fucking exercise. I mean, like, that's what I mean. Like, none of it makes sense. Like, if you were actually piping in oxygen, where's the clean oxygen coming from? If you
Yep.
think it's a nuclear
There's a
blast, I mean, it's
line-
ridiculous.
There's a line later in the film that it was something like near the sewer, so I imagine it didn't smell very well down
Dude,
there.
so that's another thing, man. You're down in this bunker. It's you. At some point, like, she has the baby in the bunker. So it's like you're raising an infant at one point. Like, I'm sorry, this is family annihilation, dude. All the stress, plus it smells like a sewer line.
And again, it's coming from Sissy Spacek, who we do see. Like, I think it's one of the times, something where we're watching the honeymoon. Like, this show just gets better and better,
Yep.
and she
Oh,
goes into her room and screams, and we cut to black. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that
well,
is
what they
actually
do, it's,
chilling.
it's a real heartbreaking thing. Is like there's no dialogue. It's just Walken's laughing at it as if it's brand new.
Yes,
And she just looks like she wants everyone in the bunker to suffocate and die. And then, and only when Walken turns to her to be like, funny, right? Does she like
Yes.
smile? And as soon as he looks back to the television, she just goes cold again.
She's
And I'm
in-
like, those moments where Sissy Spacek's being a real actor in this movie,
yeah.
that's the movie I want. I want her to be
Yeah.
like, it's not fucking funny anymore that he's pretending to be a man from space.
I mean, you
It's a
have in the
prison.
bedroom already. It's already
Yes.
exists.
She should freak out and like sabotage all the yacht batteries that run this place. Like we're all
Yep.
going to hell
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, because I mean, the thing we should set it up. So basically, they're having this party. Cuban Missile Crisis is happening. Walken sends everybody home.
Right, 1 year before a blast that made history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They
God.
Uh-huh.
I when he's kicking everybody out, first of all, I love the William Hootkins guy that is filmed running through the neighborhood and like
Oh,
gets to the party and he's like, "Oh, Christopher Walken, you gotta turn on the TV. JFK's giving it to Khrushchev."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh wow," and like they're all watching it. So he sends everybody home. You catch the number of people leaving this house? There's like
Oh,
35 people
It's a
walking
lot.
out the
This
door.
was an enormous event.
It's
I-
huge.
But I like this. You know what? I like it as a reason to kick people out of your house. This
Oh,
is
absolutely.
Actually,
I wanna-
excuse me, I have to take a shit.
What that's the thing is now I'm just gonna leave the fucking like whenever Biden's like babbling at the brewery about Earth Rider, I'm gonna leave that on my TV and be like, oh well, you heard what he said. Everybody's gotta go home. I'm sorry.
outta here.
You're like bibby bobby boo 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 burr. Like yeah, as the president said, we have to go.
It's also nuts. Like, what are the odds that on the eve of the start of the Cuban Missile Crisis, there's this plane that lands on their house? Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Land. It
Crashes. It
Yes.
crashes.
Yes.
But like,
This is Final
This is-
Destination, by the
yeah,
way.
this is a dumb detail.
It
Like,
is.
All those party goers are now going to be haunted by the specter of death
'Cause-
and murdered.
because here's what it is, right? This is the a way more grounded, not completely ridiculously stupid reason for them to think that the bomb went off, right? Because that's the whole thing. This
Yeah.
plane crashes on their house and there's an explosion and Christopher Walken's like, "Oh no, it happened." And like he locks them in for 35 years and that's what it is. Here's the actual way you do this. They're so nervous about what JFK said on the television. He's kicking everybody home and Sissy Spacek left something on in the kitchen. There was a lit cigarette.
Mhm.
Boom, gas explosion.
Ah.
The house it's a way more grounded
Yes.
kind of calamity than, on top of the Cuban Missile Crisis happening, this fighter jet just falls out of the sky.
Which is why, yeah, it's fantastic. It's too fantastical on top of a fantastical idea.
And
Right,
they and
yes.
they also pack in here. It's like, oh, I left the radio. I'll go get it in a second. Oh no, now I don't have a radio. I'd be like, fuck, dude. No,
Yep.
you're bringing the radio. That's the first thing you grab. Any kind of
Yes.
entertainment thing. And again, Tom Sizemore with the with the liquor is, you know what I mean? Like sweating as he waddles across the parkway. That was me. That would be me here too.
Where you going, Steve? Hockey practice or robbing a bank? Just drinking. Got it. But yeah, so like this guy, like we just cut to this dude in a fighter jet, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Tower, I think I might be having some problems with this jet, if you can believe that right now."
Control. Actually, the movie cannot be 90 minutes. It has to be 2 hours. Would you like to cut to 3 different scenes of me getting fucked in the air before I crash land? Would you like to do that?
What if I eject over a civilian population?
Yeah, what is the back and forth there he has? Because
Go to the
tower,
ocean.
Well, the guy says like, like you hear the guy in the command tower or whatever, and he's like, "Can you make the ocean?" And I had the subtitles on. I swear the guy says yes, and then like he just instead ejects and
Well,
the plane goes
I
flying.
think this is a poorly written movie.
Oh.
And no, but I mean, like, because this happens a couple of times where I think like the movie expects you to go along with it. I think he's being sarcastic. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
because-
I could totally reach the ocean.
I don't know because there's another moment where like the moment when Alicia Silverstone is driving Adam for the first time and like she's like, "Oh, I'll take you to the Holiday Inn for a baseball card or whatever." And then in the middle of it, she's like, "You're a wacky dude." And she starts driving really erratically and you don't know why. And it's like, I guess it's because she's afraid of him, but it's never telegraphed properly. Like,
you're
these things
completely right.
these things
Yes.
happen in this movie and you're like, why is this character acting in this way?
You're absolutely correct, dude, about that other thing. I don't remember what the line is, but like he says something
Mm-hmm.
that could like be interpreted as creepy, or I'm sure it is creepy because he's a weird caveman
Oh,
Boy
yeah.
Scout in this movie. But like, so yeah, she does get creeped out by it and then starts speeding because I was like, how stupid is this? that like whatever it was, 4 years after Clueless, there's another movie where she's like bad at driving, but then I realized like she is purposely speeding. But you're completely right. The telegraphing of that is a total failure.
And I think that's what's happening. Whatever is happening here is the same problem. Is like we don't know how to telegraph what things mean. So yeah, he just explodes, and she has the baby almost immediately.
Yep.
And again, like just a quick. Maybe we'd have like the first night or something, and then 35 years later. But no, we're watching every couple of years.
Sure, but and keep in mind, Christopher Walken's like, I could deliver it myself or whatever. But now we're also in a world where, thank God, no medical problem has ever occurred whatsoever.
Yep.
And you probably don't have any teeth left in your head at this point. Unless you got really good teeth, which God bless you.
That's a good call. Yeah.
And this kid never got braces. He comes out like really fucking weird looking.
Oh, you're totally right. Like, at least for the adults, maybe something about like, I had us prefabricated dentures just in case.
Just knock your teeth out and put these in.
Well, also, you have to imagine that, like, from what we know of fucking Christopher Walken, he's a crank. He's a absolutely crazy person. So he comes out, the fact that the kid comes out squeaky clean, like, doesn't register to me. Because, you know, he's been bombarded for 30 years of, like, well, we're living under Castro's America now.
Yes. Right, yes.
Now,
yes.
Yeah, and, like,
he's
crazy.
He should be like a gun-happy psycho who spent the last fucking 35 years masturbating to his mother or father.
Prepare to come out and destroy the communist world that has happened to. Like, he comes out like Rambo. Like, that's what he would be doing.
This would be a funny comedic premise, because then he'd be like, he'd see the modern world and be like, fuck, I love communism.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
McDonald's
look how
everywhere.
well it worked out. Yeah.
Well, what if we drove out of our way to make fun of trans people real quick and call them basically call them mutants? What if we did that?
We'll do that.
We'll do that instead. Okay, that's a good
right, because that's when eventually 35 years is up. Christopher Walken uses the back lift. It's convenient that the first exit was destroyed, but there's another one. And
we by the way, I'm sorry, when that happens, it's the morning of, and like Sissy Spacek, they're all asleep, and then the door opens. Like, absolutely, this should not catch anyone by surprise.
Dude, no, you are standing there 10, 9,
Exactly.
8. It's been 35 fucking years.
I do like the montage of everyone like their property gets sold, and we're building this like malt shop, mom's malt shop, and then,
you know,
when we're checking in through the years, it gets shittier and shittier. Eventually, it's a gutter bar,
and I think that's all very funny, right? But like, this is how you save us all of that Adam fucking growing up. You have like one scene, and it's like somebody, the cap on the scene is like, and then we'll have to wonder what's up there. And the movie does actually do this. There's a fake shot of like, we're rising up and we go through the floor, and this is how we're introduced to the mom's malt shop kind of thing. But all you need to do, you get an exterior on that malt shop, baby, and you have a little animated sequence where it's sped up shit, and it's like, malt shop, whoops, now it's the bar.
Yes.
Now it's a fucking shittier bar. Now it's a place where homeless people live. You know what I mean?
I mean, it drives you crazy because this is like the worst advice you would get from like the 17 script writing books that came out in the 90s and the late 80s. What the worst idea is that like everything that happens in the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes sets up everything in the back half. Like, there's no air to breathe. There's nothing that just happens by chance. Everything is just fucking like calculating the rest of the movie, and like it makes it boring. It makes it like easy to predict as well. You're just like, oh my God, he likes baseball cards. I wonder if they're going to be worth something. Oh wait, he's a magical millionaire.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yay.
It is convenient in that way, but also like you're trying to make an easy breezy rom-com. It's a problem to have your love interest introduced 41 minutes in.
Insane. By the way, so the guy who works at the mall shop is Joey Slotnick. Anyone else have obviously he's from Twister. He was the funny guy on The Single Guy, which I watched every episode of.
Sure.
I had noticed his bravery on coming on the shores of Boston Public.
That's
I watched a lot of Boston Public, and I believe Chris, doesn't his character like go down for sleeping with a student or something like that?
I think so. Yes,
Nice.
eventually.
He's like a nerdy guy, and then there's like a sexy student. By the way, here's Joey Slotnick's Wikipedia page. The photo is going to make everybody laugh.
Oh no.
I love it. Who's this guy?
Steve Wozniak.
Wow.
It's him and
Steve
Steve
Wozniak.
Wozniak because
Yeah.
he played him in Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Oh God.
Oh,
You're
that's bad
cracking.
casting.
It's horrible casting.
I will say I think he's funny in this movie. I think he's almost
needed.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
he's like a saving grace. It's like finally some comedy.
Yeah, these are where the fucking jokes are at Mom's Malt Shop.
Man, the fucking in Boston Public, Chi McBride is so disappointed when he finds out about that
Yes,
because he's the fucking principal, right? Yeah,
He's the
Oh,
principal, man.
Is that
He was so
streaming
pissed off.
anywhere?
it might.
I
be.
don't know. It should be, man. Chi McBride was fucking awesome on that
Oh, yeah,
show.
he
Well,
was.
it looks like he was in Plane last year. I did not see.
Ooh,
Plane.
Oh yes,
yes, he
one of the
was. Yeah,
hostages in the plane.
They,
Yep.
oh my God, that movie. We never really talked about, but like that has the craziest '90s like kickback cast ever. Tony Goldwyn's in that. Ben Vogt. I forget his fucking full. It's Ben Vogt. He's the main Italian guy from House Guest.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
But you see the guy's face, you know him. He's on.
Oh,
He's been on
really?
The Wire too.
I'm bringing it up. Paul Ben Victor. Is
Yeah,
that who you're talking
that's
about?
who. I'm
Oh,
thinking.
that guy
Yes.
who's like he's like a substitute for old what's his name there. Oh man, Lord Almighty, the crazy dude from Die Hard who's a crazy MAGA
Robert
guy now.
Davi.
Yes, he's like a
Yes.
fake Robert Davi, this Paul Ben Victor guy.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Been on Law and Order like 100,000 times.
Oh, of course, you'd have to.
Sure.
But yeah, so we're watching these things unfold. We're watching a bunch of kids. One of the kids, the last kid, is the lead from the Bye Bye Man, who is also in what do you call it there? The Mormon show on HBO. Blah blah
Big
blah.
Love.
Oh, the
Big Love.
Paxton?
Yes.
Yeah, big love.
They,
yeah.
he was the lead boy on that show. So there you go.
Hmm.
As he
You're
was-
saying that's the guy who's Adam?
Yeah, like
when
age,
he's
like
like
12 or
speaking
what-
German
yeah,
or whatever.
yes, and he's like dancing around.
Okay.
And I mean, like, I don't understand why Adam is. I mean, I guess that's the character, but like, he's so squeaky and happy. Like, wouldn't you be horrifically depressed and/or like, I don't know, like a weird sex offender at this point? Like, you've never even left the house. Never like, you can't even jack off in your own home.
You have no idea of social graces. Yeah,
Yes.
it would be. You'd be a walking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Do you even know how to jerk off? Did Christopher Walken think that was needed?
No, he doesn't, because at the end of the movie is only when he's finally telling this 35-year-old man how a woman is inseminated.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he is. You're saying he's never ejaculated his entire life.
Maybe a wet dream or two for
Oh,
sure.
no, he would be having them on the weekly.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
at this point,
definitely.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would put out there because we never see the bathroom situation in the bunker. Like,
Mhm.
what's the shower head situation looking like? Is that detachable? That could be fun.
Oh, he's like rubbing his genitals with it.
Sort of, you're figuring shit out. And you're like, well, the shower is the only place where
Mhm.
my two parents aren't up my ass 24
That's true.
hours a day.
I mean,
It's like-
we're,
Adam, we recycle that water. Why are there little fish type of things?
Oh,
No,
God.
and then Sissy Spacek is like, I don't want to wash any more crusty sheets, so he should be in there as long as it needs to be. I am so tired of
Yeah.
hard sheets.
Well,
the
you know,
filtration works, right? The filtration that works all day long. Good.
The water is another question, but then again, I'm sure there's answers for all these fallout shelters. I'm sure they were very thorough back in the day.
I think it's all magic. I think everything in here is like,
I know-
it just worked out.
Chris, I think there was one line about well water.
there is
Yep.
something about well water. There's also a moment where he's catching a fish. Did anybody else notice that?
Because he's got this big pool,
tank,
like
yeah.
you see the little like baby fish at first, and then there's just a scene where he's like dinner, and he's got this like handheld net that he just gets
Yeah.
this big old bass in or whatever.
Yeah, you like farm
Yes.
fished it. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
he's
yes.
breeding his own fish.
Yeah. I mean,
Got it.
we're talking about all these things we wish Sissy Spacek did in this movie, but honestly, off camera, she definitely stopped a dog tooth from happening in this place.
Sure.
She averted it. Walken was
Mhm.
definitely marching towards that end, and she just barely got him to stop. With the honeymooners, she just laughed along to the honeymooners enough so that he fucking wouldn't think like that.
So finally his like 35th birthday comes, door's gonna open, and Walken goes up first. And this is the first of a couple of times we're kind of referencing, but it's just ripping off Back to the Future. Like Walken comes up wearing a radiation suit, and it's the
Yes.
exact same gag as
It is.
Marty.
Yep.
It's the same fucking thing.
He might as well said his name was Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly. And so he comes up, he scares the shit out of Joey Slotnick, who now is like a pseudo like Manson wannabe guy. He's got a bad spiral tattoo on his forehead.
Mhm.
And he's talking about how he doesn't believe in God and he's just waiting for the end, et cetera, which,
oh,
you know.
Oh,
been
you
there.
guys, you guys didn't get it? Oh no, he came back from the future to warn us all about True Detective Night Country. That's what the little circle comes from. He's just like, no,
Oh,
it's
got
not
it.
that good. It's really, it's fine in parts, but it's mostly not that good.
I
Actually,
only saw the first 2 episodes. Is shit the bed already?
I'm gonna disagree with you there, Chris.
the
Cabin.
third episode. I think it should be pretty bad.
I haven't
All
seen
right,
the
I'll,
third yet.
I'll see it. I'm a lot of people like it, so
Mhm.
Enjoy being wrong over there,
I
Chris.
am
That's fine.
very happy with that.
But yeah, so he walks out, yes, and like, so now Joey Slotnick becomes like an acolyte of his or something. He's just so terrible. I mean, like, you would just be like, oh, it's a guy in a suit. I guess there's an
Right.
elevator there. Weird.
but
you
it
know?
just came out of the ground after he said like show me a sign or some shit, and then
Oh,
he
right.
said, leave my elevator alone, and now he's putting that up as a quote from an otherworldly being in his mind.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Walken, goes outside, and this is like you're supposed to be this big genius, and you know that under your what you're assuming has happened is like a nuclear holocaust and all this stuff. He goes outside and he's like, "What happened to my yard?" And I'm like, "The fuck did you think happened? You think a bomb went off, dude?"
But we also hear it's just like, oh my god, because we have like rap music.
Uh-oh,
playing,
rap music and a bum. Oh no.
and there's like some junkyard dogs and chain link fences up, and it's like we're in an urban area, and it's like, oh no, the world ended type of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cypress Hill plays in all the scariest places, like the mall,
Yeah.
and, restaurants.
Yeah, some guy with a water gun shoots at him at some point. Like he's got a
That's a weird thing.
he's got
That
like
is
a, what
very
is it?
weird.
The car and the hydraulics that he just shoots at him. I mean, like, this movie, I would love to know what this movie thinks about the actual 90s LA. You know what I mean? Like, is it
Oh,
bad?
I know what it is. I know what it
Mhm.
is. When sun go down, city bad. When
I
sun
see.
come up, city fine.
That's
Okay,
right.
got it.
That's
Mm.
the logic of the film.
Pretty much.
It's
I
so
mean,
scary. Oh my god! And then he meets a trans sex worker who is like, "Hey, you want me to be a boy? I'll be a boy. I'll be a girl. $200, man. Whatever you want." And then he's like, "Oh no, I mean, like, and I know, like, it's obviously much more prevalent now, but like, you knew about like at least cross dressing in the 1960s, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would be like, oh, that's just someone who is."
I don't know, man. This guy's just barely fucking swallowing the commie threat.
I guess so.
Yeah, but like this dude like served in World War II, and when they were over in Germany, he fucking like saw some stage show, and it was like, wait a minute, that voluptuous woman.
I
I'm
mean, you're right.
telling
I
ya,
do know that.
I'm telling you, Sissy Spacek, they're nothing but J. Edgar Hoover's up there.
It's like
Exactly.
he saw Abe Simpson's whatever that review was he got
Yes.
himself wrapped up in, like that. Yeah, he knows about cross dressing and whatever. So like that's at least a starting point for this,
you
and
know-
not for
Exactly.
him to be like, oh no, a monster.
And
It's a mutant with
yes.
both pairs of genitals.
He
And I'm
even
like,
says subspecies. It's
That's
not
pretty
good.
bad.
but
it's tough,
That's pretty
dude.
bad.
It's
the
a rough one
idea
for this
is
one.
I guess you'd be shocked. No, he wouldn't be shocked by just anyone. But it is the first time he's seeing other people in 35 years. But it is it's played for a bad joke for sure.
It's played for a bad joke, and then he goes to the adult bookstore for a second, and then just runs away.
Yeah.
So like whatever. And
What,
I mean,
what do you think that was? You thought it was gonna be Faulkner or something?
Finally, a place where I can get away from all those shelves full of Berenstain Bears. Some just adult books.
Oh, a gangbang. Does that mean we just get to shoot? Are we all shooting like a gang?
Oh, dude, they shoot. Don't worry
Wait, this
about it.
this one stars someone called Machine. Let me put it in. Oh no, leave her alone, Machine.
Bukkake. I guess I'll give it a spin.
It just
Oh,
Helen,
Lord.
you won't believe it. They killed a girl and filmed it.
And he comes back down, and I mean, like, I don't know, dude, you're breathing comfortably. That's just the way the world is.
Mm.
Let's wait till the morning and see what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like, No,
Yeah,
but he's just like,
he wanted to do like the recon at night because he
Yes.
thought it would be dangerous. But
Yep.
yeah,
And also, like, she's like fucking had it.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
because what has already happened is like on that night before, he has an insane line, which is, "Boy, I wish we could stay down here longer." And
Yes.
this is where she goes behind the door and starts
got
screaming.
it. That's
and
what it is.
And I'd be like, "Lady, just leave him. Like,
Yep.
it's fine. Like,
Mhm.
take your 35-year-old fucking ape son and get up there.
And just see what it's like. The two
Your
of you.
hulking son. Just go up there. He will protect you."
But so he has, and I mean, Walken in this movie, like, I think Walken is fine in comedies, but sometimes when you're like, "Hey, Chris, be funny," it's like, that's not what you want. This broad heart attack he has is very unfunny.
Is it supposed to be funny, though?
'Cause he's like, "Oh, ooh, ah, eek, a heart attack."
I just thought it was bad.
But that's like the worst question to have in a movie like this. Is it supposed to be funny?
Thank you. Yes.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
when
who
is
cares?
my question is, when is it going to be fun?
I
Yeah,
bought a
but-
ticket from the director of Police Academy.
Thank you.
When is it getting funny?
When
When is someone getting sucked off behind a podium?
I
That's
mean,
what I want to
when
know.
when he
Exactly.
has the heart attack, I'm like wondering. I'm like, oh well, of course you because this would have come up in 35 years. You definitely told Sissy Spacek how to treat you if you have a heart. Oh, you didn't? Oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So
do
that's,
not resuscitate because you can't.
I
There's
wish.
nothing here to do that.
that would be great
So
if it was that
he's
way.
sick. She's gearing up the young boy there, Brendan Fraser, to go up to the surface, get supplies, and Walken tells him, if you find a suitable woman, bring her down.
Bring her
Mm.
down
Bring her
here.
down
Take,
to the
I want to
prison.
watch. I want to watch you breed, son.
Breeding a race of Morlocks.
just go out into the town, find a girl, and bring her back home with us. That's the plot of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Yes,
Just
it is.
FYI, that's some psycho shit,
That-
that musical.
Is a terrifying movie. That is
Incredible.
Dare I say, stay tuned. Could we actually do an old musical? That might be
If
fun.
if we were going to do a musical, we would have to do that one. That one
Yes.
is absolutely the most bizarre thing I've ever
It's
seen.
terrifying.
It's a strange one with amazing dance choreography.
Well, yes.
Oh
it
yeah,
did.
no,
It
there's a
looks
lot.
great.
There's better elements to that than this, even though that movie is kind of rapey.
Oh yeah.
Kind, you can take
absolutely.
the kind of right out of there, but
Okay,
yes.
it's very. Let's,
And
let's
quite rapey.
underline it. Let's underline it really quick. Very underlined.
There's some sort of weird thing where is it Sissy Spacek herself that's like, or is it Walken? One of them is like, and make sure, when you're looking for this nice girl to club over the head and bring down
Yes.
to our fucking dungeon, she's from Pasadena.
This is Sissy Spacek. She's like, only nice girls are from Pasadena or something, which is,
Right.
and I don't know what that joke is.
I think it's
or-
like you got to get a lady from the suburbs, and that
Yeah,
don't mean
further away
Yeah,
from LA.
exactly.
I just don't I don't believe she gives a shit about any of this, right?
No.
She's been wanting to get out of here for fucking 30 years now.
Yes.
Like
I don't get why she doesn't just go with it. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
she's like, she actually does kind of a funny line here because she's telling him like, stuff to get, and he's writing everything down. And she goes, liquor store, write that down.
Yes.
Liquor store.
Yeah.
But it's only like half a joke though, because she
Mhm.
doesn't tell him, like, if you find a liquor store, here's what I want. You know what I mean? It's like half
everything.
of a joke.
yeah, she's had,
everything.
she's had a fucking 30 years to live with a like not a Jack Torrance that didn't erupt.
Yes.
And like and you just are now getting free of him. You would there's this scene where she goes up and she's scared of Joey Slotnick and if you walked up and saw a shark walking around,
Yep.
you'd be like, okay, cool.
I totally
let's
would
do
be.
it. Let's cool. Let's get
That's
fine.
how I was again during the pandemic, where I could mostly kind of sort of leave my house and like, go outside in my backyard or whatever. I would absolutely welcome the shark people.
But
towards
at the
late
same-
April.
At the same time, 35 years living in an institutional prison, you maybe are afraid to go out. There's people still not going outside because of COVID to this day.
Oh, absolutely. And remember,
So-
Tom Hanks had to sleep on the floor at the end of Castaway? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just
I-
get used to
oh,
stuff.
And that was
I-
just a year.
Brooks was here.
That's 100% true. But like, of course, the movie does nothing to be like she's like that. Like, there's nothing to be like she's attached to the place. She hates it
The last joke of the movie is on the mother, which we'll get to at the very end of the movie, but it's chilling at the way that
Yep.
it's played.
It's not this, but if it were to happen, it's like a sequel setup for a genre hopping sequel that turns into a horror movie.
Exactly. But so Brendan Fraser does go out there with a list, and he's got like, I think he gets like $3,000 from them, like in cash.
It's like $3,000, and
yeah.
then he's got all these like priceless baseball cards
Yes.
with him. And he's like walking down he's got this moment where he's staring up at the sky, and it like again, these are things that like in a more serious movie, it's kind of interesting, right? Like this is a person literally seeing the real sky for a first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like the movie does try to like play it for this kind of nice moment for a second, and I was like, no. You've set this up. You have told me this is a dumb comedy. Buy the ticket, ride the ride, make the movie you said you were going to make. Like,
Sure.
you don't get to have these kinds of moments in this movie.
But
Well,
then he sees a female postal worker and look out.
Oh boy, yes, this is
look out.
the late great Sonia Eddy. By the way,
Yes.
did everybody recognize her?
Yes, sir.
Rebecca De Mornay from Seinfeld.
Oh right, yeah.
The lady who works at the homeless shelter or whatever.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
book's been in the bathroom. Brendan Fraser walks down the street, sees this woman who was indeed an African-American actress and person, and says, "Oh my stars, a Negro." And what a fucking douche chill moment for this movie. And
Yeah,
you
it's
just
rough. It's
know in the theater in 1999, like that was fucking hitting it out of the park. That
I'm-
was a grand slam written joke.
I almost think it's a trailer line.
It's not. It's
Ooh.
not of the first trailer. I don't think. I watched the first trailer earlier. Includes music. I think like even Green Day that is not in the movie.
Oh, that's
Plus,
unfortunate.
you get like a trailer voiceover, but it's not the guy you all know from the '90s. It's just some guy.
Oh, it's not Don LaFontaine?
It's
That's a
definitely not.
bummer.
It's some
Oh.
total
in a
lack-
world.
someone who lacks any type of gravitas did it.
Oh, well, that sucked.
It's just,
And
but
it's- yeah, it's just this weird like ass clenching moment, and then he's like, "Nice to meet you, ma'am."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, nice to meet you too. Have a good day, psycho."
it's
Yeah.
it's cute when he does it. It's cute. Okay.
It's supposed to underscore the fish out of water thing and like how times have changed, but
Sure.
yikes.
Remember, Chet Baker's the only good jazz musician.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, like again, like
It's
if you're watching,
pre-civil. They went down pre-Civil Rights Act.
if you're
That's
watching,
true.
if you're watching just The Honeymooners, you're never gonna see a black person on there. That's for sure.
Well, Jackie made sure of that. No, I don't know, but I mean, you're totally right. Like that's a thing. Like, why don't we make sure that the fucking programming in the bunker is a little more? We're casting a wider net for entertainment. So you know what I mean?
Chet Baker, Dave Brubeck,
Huh? Elvis
That's-
Presley.
it-
Let's name all the people that stole from
Yes.
black culture.
who gave you this Lee Morgan record? Tell me that name.
Dude, Brendan Fraser goes on to Adam, by the way, the character's name, of course, Adam gets on a bus, and this is like one of my biggest pet peeves is people just loudly talking on public transportation.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, the people on this Los Angeles bus, man, they are a little too patient with this guy. There needs to
Oh,
be a
yeah.
lot more screaming. here.
I'd split his lip.
Yeah, there's just these like old people just kind of like looking back quietly. Let me tell you something. An old person will sass you on the bus. Don't worry about it. If an old person sees you on the bus doing something that they consider to be a fool, they will fucking tell you about it.
I'm
true.
just happy we got out of here without like a reference to speed. Honestly,
Yeah, that's true.
this
Oh,
is not
God.
movie's not above that.
I
I
rem-
could see it.
I remember an older lady, a guy got on the back of a bus once, and she just started screaming, "Pay your fare! Pay your fare!" And then he's like, "Comb your hair! Comb your hair!" It's kind of ruled.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I like this.
I like that guy. He's a pretty cool dude.
Well,
Stealing
she
other-
should have combed her hair before she started mouthing off.
Well,
Was-
did she comb it? Did
I-
he pay? What happened?
Okay.
Nothing,
what's the
nothing
conclusion?
happened. It was the
No,
Bronx.
no.
Everyone just kind of settled in for a long, tense ride.
But like assholes clenched,
Like,
handles held. Let's
Any-
go.
all right,
is
dude.
anybody going to stab anybody? We'll find out.
I'll go back to the bunker after seeing that.
I just don't, and don't narc on people when they jump out of the back of the bus. It's the same thing. You might as well turn around and be like, they jumped over the subway turnstile. Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Narc
Putting
on
on the
people.
business.
Who gives a shit? Mind your
just-
own business. Keep your eyes down. Shut
They're-
up.
only robbing from a city that doesn't give a shit about you in the first place.
Exactly.
But so he finds a grocery store and he's like, driver, stop. And he goes to the meat department. He's like, I need 400 pounds of whatever of hamburgers. And the guy's like, that's going to be like $1,000. Like, oh my, I'm going to run out of money soon. And I mean, we got to
Right.
talk about Brendan Fraser. Couple things. The
Sure.
hair is unsettling. I don't know
Yep.
why he has to have black hair in this movie. Like, it's not his natural hair. It's
What's
It's
his
a
weird looking.
bad look.
What's his natural hair?
It was like dark brown, you know what I mean? But like this like
Yeah.
jet black hair is just
I guess because
spiky.
we're dyeing Walken's hair, and I
Yeah.
guess we're trying to desperately make it seem like they're father and son.
it'd be
some
kind of
way.
Which
fun.
is so-
It'd be funny if he came out talking like him because you wouldn't.
Yes, yeah.
You would have the mannerisms of the two people you're around all the
Yes.
time like that. You absolutely
Or you
would.
would have the mannerisms of Art Carney.
Oh, dude, that would be great. Geez, can you tell me I gotta find the grocery store around here?
Can I have some beef patties, please? I need a bunch of beef patties.
Hello, Bull.
What do you sound like that for, young man? I don't really know.
There is also the line of like, "Oh, a meat order that big, you get delivered to your house." Oh, I don't know where I live. Do you know where I live? No.
There is I
butcher's
dude, I
funny.
like
Yeah, he's
this
good.
deli guy because that's funny. And then Adam realizes he has to leave to find home or whatever, and he goes, "Will you please excuse me?" And the guy, it's a really great, this dude not missing a beat. He's not leaving any air in between Fraser's sentence and his. He's just like, gladly.
Yes.
Like, it's such a great delivery. I was howling. Honestly, one of the
Yes.
biggest laughs.
He's
of the
a
movie.
he's
Yes.
a 5-star character actor. I don't know who
He's been around for forever.
Yes.
He does
Todd
almost the
Sussman.
he does
Yes.
almost the exact same thing in Beverly Hills Cop 2 when
Mm.
Oh, really?
Axel Foley goes to the house that he steals while he's there.
Uh-huh.
He's the foreman he's talking to who he gets to.
Oh yeah. Oh, all right.
He's also in Coneheads.
Ooh, stay tuned for us talking about Coneheads at some point.
WLM.
But so he now is lost and he realizes, oh man, I don't even have enough money to do all the stuff that they said because of Joe Biden's inflation. You know what I mean? No.
So he realizes like, okay, he finds the adult bookstore again. And by the way, while Dishwalla's Pretty Babies is playing
God
during
damn.
this
Can
montage,
you just-
fuck yeah.
Really? This song?
Really?
I feel like this was the ones I'm fine with Dishwalla, but I was
Yeah.
like, I did not remember this song at all. I was like, could you play one that I know?
I was
I
much
mean, that's fair.
I was much more excited for Squirrel Nut Zippers. I'll be honest with you.
Oh man,
Oh,
forget
yes.
about it.
When Hell came on, I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
And
Did
when
I
the
go-
the
did I go-
Everclear drop was when I clapped in my house.
When the Squirrel Nut Zippers play and they go to that like 40s swing revival club,
Yes.
you should be like, did I go back in time?
No, thank you. That's like 3 years too late at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was also
Uh,
because it's like a revival of
Oh yes.
olden times. But yes, you are correct. It is a little, I guess 1999 is a little late to be going to something like a Brown Derby knockoff where we're doing swing music.
But that swing craze, that was firmly a like 97 to 99.
Okay.
So this
I
was
mean-
like the death rattle.
I don't know, but
no.
the mask is what 95. The Coco
But that's-
Bongo.
no,
Ring?
but that's-
93, right?
But that's not the same thing as like when Squirrel Nut Zippers and the Cherry Pop and Daddies had Zoot Suit Riot. That
Yeah.
shit was
Okay.
later in the 90s.
Take it back. Swingers is 96. You're right.
The
Yeah,
mask
you're
is
right.
94. The album that Squirrel Nut Zippers Hell came out 96. So
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
I
so
mean,
it's
I guess
it was
it's
like a
appropriate.
96 to like, I mean, it's the death rattle. of
Okay,
it
It was,
right
I mean,
here.
it wasn't killed by 9/11. It was dead before 9/11 for sure.
it was
That's
killed by
true.
Y2K when this clock.
Yes, I
struck.
think
Yeah.
that's true. I think
Got
that's
it.
probably more likely.
Yeah,
But
it
so
was
like,
Y2K that did that great music revival in.
but he's trying to. He goes to the wrong. It's another adult bookstore. He realizes, oh man, there's so many of them. I don't know where I'm going to be. He goes up the street. Wouldn't you know it? There's a hobby shop that sells baseball cards, and you're like, hey, is there ever going to be a romantic lead in this movie? And here she is.
50-ish, I would wager minutes into the
I-
movie,
I-
45, 50 minutes.
I think I clocked it at 41 minutes, maybe 42. I paused it when she came on the screen. To check.
Crazy that it takes this long.
There's just so much grab ass in this movie. And like, I don't know, for a lot of people, 99, it's only 4 years off. You're like, I'm going to see the girl from Clueless in a movie. you are fucking
Yeah.
tapping your toe like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Make this movie 95 minutes. Get her in there by minute 30 at latest, at
Well,
the very latest.
The problem is that like we got more than enough of the Walken and Spacek show from
Sure
the
did.
first 30 minutes or so. It's fine, but we keep going back to them and it
Yep.
slows everything down, and
Yep.
they frame the action of this. Like it would be great to have him out there for a couple days, like have a night where he watches a fucking sunset and a sunrise. Like
right.
these things would be interesting. But because you have this framing device that they need their meat and tobacco,
Like that is the big joke, right? We got to talk about the bunker culture of the 1960s. Don't we all remember it? But it
I
would be more
guess.
compelling. How about if they just all fucking die in there and he
Yeah,
gets
that'd be
out
great.
and he doesn't have to go back and he's just a pure fish out of water and we're not worried about mom and dad and we're
Well, like that's kind of what you could do, right? Is like my parents died and I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
get locked in there, they suffocate for some
I
reason.
mean, my God,
Yes.
what a grim movie!
Yeah, just-
But that's what I'm saying. It's a grim idea,
Okay.
and that's why
It's-
the conceit of this shoved through the filter of a rom-com is a
He's-
terrible idea.
you know what? I'm with Andrew here. I think it should have the same opening as Midsommar.
Okay, got it.
No. Listen, he's like a 12-year-old boy down there in the bunker, and he accidentally locks his mom and dad into like the battery room.
Oh,
and
nice.
He doesn't know
Yep.
how to unlock it, and they suffocate and die.
Oh, it's the
Mhm.
battery room, so they're getting electrocuted, and Christopher Walken turns to toast again due
Yes.
to electricity in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, that would be amazing. Little shot of a skeleton face.
So yeah, Alicia Silverstone here as Eve. So the situation is he goes into the store.
Adam
he's
and
like,
Eve, everyone.
Is everyone paying attention? Oh yes, store proprietor. How much would you give me for this Mickey Mantle rookie card? And the dude's clearly ripping him off. He's looking through the box. There's of course all these like really rare collectible kind of things, expensive shit. And he's like, "How about I give you $500 for the whole thing?" And this is where Alicia's character comes in, and she's like, "This scumbag's ripping you off. The one card alone in his hand is worth $4,000." And it turns into this big thing where he's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking stupid bitch. You're fucking fired."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I quit. No, you're fired. And then it's like, oh, Adam and Eve, huh? Mazel fucking tov. I
Yeah,
love that line.
it is good. And then like she's like, oh, how do I she's trying to get rid of him, but like he's like, hey, could you help me find the Holiday Inn? Because that's what his mother says. If you wind up going there, find a Holiday Inn. And this is literally what I tell you, the engine of this movie falls out immediately because like it is like, son, go find food. Please, we're dying here. Okay, that's what that movie's about. Oh, wait, I like a girl. Oh, wait. And then like he's gonna like use her to get food for a while, and then we're talking about weeks and weeks, and then it's like, and then find me a girl. That's weeks and weeks. Like there is no like engine or plot to like there's a story, but there's no plot to the
Right.
movie.
There's no even courtship here. She's going to help him go out on the town and find someone. It's stilted.
No, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's obvious from the beginning that like these two are going to be together. Why not just make it a fucking story about them getting to know each other
Because
rather than this fucking?
we got to have fun pointing out that he knows French and German and he's da.
Well, this is kind of like a turn on that idea of like the boy's friends with a quote nerdy girl and
Yeah.
doesn't see her for the beauty that she is through the
Sure.
whole movie, and she's helping him get a prom date or whatever.
But it's
like
the
it's
opposite.
kind of that.
It's
He's in
But
love
like-
with he's in
but
love
she
with her the whole
thinks-
time.
Yeah,
He's the
he
nerdy
thinks
one.
she's beautiful.
Yes.
He's the
Yeah.
nerdy loser and she's the hot shit Freddie Prinze Jr. or whatever.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like he's on one kind of story track, but she's on another story track.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of this movie just feels like it's spinning its wheels the whole
Yeah,
time.
Exactly.
because she's basically like even here it's like, oh, are they gonna have like a fun meet cute and like go get coffee? It's like, will you help me drive to my hotel? And she's like, maybe. And he's like, what if I gave you one of the cards? And she takes it, and this is the scene we talked about where she gets freaked out by him and like rushes through traffic to get him to the Holiday Inn and basically kicks him out of the car.
Yeah. Now here's my question. Bellhops at a Holiday Inn?
I don't know about that.
No.
Right?
Was that part of the swing revival? What's going on here?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe in the 90s, I don't remember, but like I don't think so. I really don't.
I mean, not to knock a Holiday Inn, but like that's where you're going to, save a couple of shekels. You're
Sure.
not gonna fucking be tipping bellhops at a Holiday Inn.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. No.
But there is this bellhop that takes him to the room, and there's kind of a funny joke here where, and again, this is another, the screenplay's terribly telegraphing something, but I think that the comment here is the movie is saying because he's like never seen the real sun, blah blah blah, he doesn't look as aged as he should, because the guy's like, "Oh, how old are you?" And he says 35, and the guy says, "You look 25."
Yes.
And I think in that "you look 25," it's this whole loaded thing of like, you're supposed to like put together, oh, yeah, of course, he hasn't seen the sun, so he doesn't have as much like UV ray damage and whatever else. Like, so of course, and like the movie does an awful job at
Yeah.
like telling you that's what the joke is supposed to be.
Anyone else recognize the actor as the bellboy?
Oh no.
He was in, well, the actor's Danny Zorn, unfortunately passed away a while ago, but he was in My Boyfriend's Back. I think he was one of the main characters.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
And
Ooh,
apparently he
I
was
remember
also,
that movie.
he was also an IQ apparently.
Mm.
But I remember My Boyfriend's Back very well. I think he's the lead.
Is he really?
Oh, really?
Mhm.
He's the boyfriend.
That's-
Or maybe not, but he's in it.
Okay.
I just always remember him from that movie.
Oh, weird. That's something I haven't seen in a while.
It's weird. Danny Zorn is a character name in The Bourne Identity, and I don't know why, but it just is like, get me Danny Zorn. I think he gets murdered by, I want to say, Brian Cox at some point.
Makes sense.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I'd buy that.
It's got a lot of people.
It's a fitting tribute.
I mean, I think they're calling back when they do first time on the freeway. I think that's a pretty open callback to Clueless. I think they're
Yes.
doing it knowingly.
And like, I mean, honestly, I said this above. I feel like Alicia Silverstone, sure, a nice lady, and I think Clueless is an iconic character and an iconic performance.
Oh yeah.
That is up there with anything you could put in the 90s. Like that is Americana. That was it for her. She's never been really good ever again, I don't think.
I agree.
But she
100%.
is great. She's kind of a one-hit wonder in that way.
Incredible and Clueless.
Incredible, yes.
Yes.
Once in a generation performance, but like I don't think there's anything else really.
I mean, what about her performance as Barbara Wilson in Batman and Robin? I mean, it's a totally thankless.
Suit
like,
me up,
nothing.
Uncle Alfred.
I don't want you to die. Something.
Uncle Alfred, do my tits and ass look good? Could you just
Oh,
let me
yes,
know?
my darling.
Capital
Your nip-
knockers, madam.
Thank
Your
you, thank
nipples
you.
look perfect.
You're right. She really did just petered out after that. It's a shame because, like you said, Clueless was great, and she's not awful here either.
No, but it's just sort of like she's just always kind of a little flat. To be, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
yeah.
and like so. Then the next day she comes back and she's like, because again I don't have a read on her character. I mean, it's a poorly written character. She's like, I have to give back this card. What was I thinking accepting? And I can't accept a $1,000 card just to give somebody a ride. Yes, you can.
Mhm.
Of course you can.
Yeah, because the only inner life we ever get of her is like the fact that like her ex-boyfriend Nathan Fillion still hanging around, so she's in demand or whatever.
Yeah. There's nothing about like that's you would think like you would want to spend time getting to know her since this is the only other character you've had, and we're trying not to kill Spacek and Walken.
But we can't because this is really a rom-com about a father and son, and we need all that time for Christopher Walken's antics.
It's
apparently
true. It's a really sad situation.
But yeah, so her whole thing is like, oh, I always wind up with shallow, hot guys who only want one thing from me because I'm also shallow and hot.
Mm-hmm.
And so he in this moment is like, all right, listen, here's the deal. I got a proposition for you. Let's try to have a story in this movie. I'm going to pay you in valuable baseball cards to drive me around in a U-Haul to pick up supplies on this list that I have and put them all in a storage facility. And also, for the next remaining fucking 45 minutes, hour of this movie, you're never once going to ask what we're doing.
Nope.
And I'm never once going to tell you what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's another really weird part of this movie is like we're never really kind of investigating this guy until it's the end of the
It
movie.
keeps
No,
telling
no.
you, like, don't think about stuff. Let's turn up the Everclear.
Oh
Yes.
my god! Like what?
Hey, good song.
Good song.
It
It's
was.
a
not
fine-
anymore.
boom, ba-da-dum-dum. Yeah.
Oh god!
I remember liking that band back in the 90s, but hearing it in this context, I was like, oh, brother.
It just doesn't make sense. Like I love Sparkle and Fade Era Everclear, the unbelievable record.
Yeah.
But like this, I'm just like, it's just like it's about like fantasizing that you can do everything for your loved one, and you're going around buying shit for your crazy parents in the fucking. I'm like, what? Why does this match? Who thought this matched?
No one did, dude. It was on rock radio, dude. And no
Aye.
one thought shit
Fuck it.
matched.
Because you know what the thing of it is, you never see any of these transactions because now we're listening to Everclear, we're driving around a U-Haul, we're having a little bit of a montage fun. It's never like, yes, I need 6,000 socks, and she's like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's
Yeah,
not even
that's
funny. It's not even
Yeah,
funny. Like
it's-
the mon-
it's
it's
not.
not like she's like you would think he like, oh, he gets mixed up at the cashier register. Something goes wrong. It's just like, hi, I'm purchasing goods. Hello. Cut to the next scene of purchasing goods.
I don't know, man. If you're just like a dude with a U-Haul truck and you're buying all this stuff, I know we're talking pre 9/11, of course, but I
Mhm.
still feel you're on a list of some kind. Because
Sure.
especially when it's like, oh, I got to buy a pallet of pipe tobacco.
Yeah,
It's
this is like,
what is this guy getting up to?
Is he friends with Terry Nichols? We got to look into this guy.
He also
Exactly.
buys
What's
like
the fertilizer
Yeah.
situation?
Also, the storage unit. What the fuck is that? You're gonna put all your pipe tobacco. You're gonna put the hamburgers in there. Bring shit down to the fucking bunker, but he's storing it all.
and he's also doing well, he doesn't know where the bunker is at this point, Eric.
Oh right.
He also buys like
My apologies.
12 to 15 yacht batteries. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
That's
like,
what
dude,
powers
that's-
the electricity in
Yes.
Walken's nightmare house.
Sure, but someone is like, I don't know if you could buy those in bulk, dude. You got to talk to the
Right.
government about
Well,
that.
I'll tell you what they're when he goes to buy what like the 500 packs of Sudafed, they're gonna be like, excuse me, pardon me, we have a little thing called meth in this country.
Well, I mean, that's probably that's interesting though, right? Because like, you know what's not on the shopping list, Chris? Modern medicine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it's all like you're chewing, waka root, and like that's healing you or something.
That's you're onto something, Chris. There should be a scene where he goes into a pharmacy and he's like, I need a gross of cocaine, or like what some fucking old timey whatever, and they're like, that was discontinued 3 decades ago.
Yeah. You can't get the big pills of morphine anymore. We
Let
stopped
me
doing
get
that.
some. Let me get some lead paint. Thank you so much. About a pallet of that.
Do you have any like bulk packages of DDT? Really got to pick up some DDT.
Do you still do Ortolan bunting to go? Because I was really hoping to get a couple of those to go.
Around here, we're introduced to Dave Foley doing Gay Face as the friend Troy.
Oh, yes, that's right. Dave Foley as Troy, the gay best friend. I will say, I remembered this being much more cartoonish than it actually is.
It's restrained in a way. It
Yeah.
could
Well-
be way worse.
It's it's a good thought here. You don't have a character, can't make much crazy.
Yes.
You just don't give him anything to play, and he can't
No,
play
I ju-
anything up.
I just meant more. I misremembered this performance as more of an effete,
Right.
loud,
Oh, really? Oh.
stereotypical gay best friend kind of role.
and
more
Dave-
of a Scott Thompson
Yeah.
situation.
Sure.
And Dave Foley actually got the rest of the hair dye that they were using for Brendan Fraser.
Oh, dude,
Is he
this is rough.
It is. I don't know what.
Crazy.
It's a bad haircut in general, but also like jet black hair. I just don't
Yes,
get why they
it's
both
weird.
need jet black hair.
But he facilitates some, of these fish out of water jokes of like, oh, I designed websites. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Well, that's the funny part. Is like that's a great scene, right? Is when she's like, I design websites, and like he leaves for a moment, and she, I think Alicia Silverstone's like, oh, he's just on his computer. He's like, you have a computer in your house, and he gets up and runs, but we don't see the rest of it.
No, why would
No.
you want to see that?
You get back to Christopher Walken being like, Sissy Spacek, I'll cut your throat if you try and leave. Like, I got that already, dude. Like, I know that
Yes.
story.
Yeah, unfortunately, we keep checking in on them. They should be a framing device. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start and end.
This is also, we should say, it's the 90s in American cinema. This is Dave Foley's "Just Tell Me What You Want Me to Fuck" phase.
Oh,
yes. He was getting railroaded by a nasty divorce. You can hear all about it on his WTF. But like, he was just taking roles in movies, which is why he also reteams with Brendan Fraser for fucking Monkey Bone.
Oh,
Don't
sure.
worry about that.
A better movie, by the way.
Really?
Holy God, is that
It's
a better movie compared
been
to
a
this?
long time for me in Monkey Bone, but I am over the moon to hear it, Chris. I can't wait to check out your favorite movie,
It is
Monkey Bone.
my favorite. I forgot. I should have said my favorite movie, Monkey Bone.
It's clearing up the charts as always on Listener Request Month. So who
Yeah.
knows?
Hey, maybe this is the year.
But here's something
yes.
about this part of the movie. So Brendan Fraser, he says, "I'll do this. Give me 2 weeks, and I'll pay you $1,000 a week, right?" That's what. And like she's like, "Oh, cool, I have a job now, and I can take advantage of this guy, but I also like him, and he's cute or whatever." They're going around, they're buying all this stuff. At what point, Brendan Fraser, do you stop and be like, "Wait a second, this world isn't populated by mutants. I could stop buying in bulk and
Yep.
find my fucking family
Right?
and
Yep.
just bring them upstairs during the daytime." Like that is the number one thing you should be worried about. It's like, I need to find, no matter what, I need to find my family. I should stop buying thousands of pounds of hamburger because the world is livable. I can smell the fucking ocean.
And you're totally right. And here's how you do it, dude. The first fucking Costco stop that they have.
Yes.
He's in there and he's looking around, and it's like the Jolly Butcher slicing some ribs for a customer.
Mhm.
There's a woman helping a friendly child try on a shirt, over in the shirt because you're buying clothes at Costco too. That's weird, but that's happening.
Mhm.
Someone's giving out free samples and laughing about it. And he has that realization, like, wait a second, this is all totally fine. And we can stop the shopping spree.
Yes.
And just the movie becomes, I got to find my family, which is something.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it makes so much less sense that there's actually never a scene where he realizes that his father was full of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's-
Right.
it's
like
it's just
he
at the
tells his
very
father
end.
at the end that
Yeah.
he's full of shit. He's like, "Sorry, Dad." Yeah. No, I'd be like, "Oh wait, I wasted half my life listening to my father's insane rambling."
Yep, you are fucking mad at that dude. Absolutely. And that's a thing that never happens in this movie.
No.
And it's crazy. But again, it's because you're making a fun comedy. But that's just out of bounds, dude. He should be screaming at this dude. Like, just give it one scene. Maybe he does remember where they lived. And he
Yes.
goes back and he tells them off.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, like, that's it.
And
you know?
maybe
And then-
they're too scared to go up, and that's why he builds this dream house that is a replica of a mid-century modern 1962 house.
What a
That's
hell for
terrifying.
Sissy Spacek.
That's
Hey,
right.
Yep.
guess
Yeah.
what? You can
Change
leave
it up.
and live in the exact same fucking place again.
So in this scene, also, just to quickly point out, Adam gets very horny because Alicia Silverstone's Eve is like, "Oh, I'm a psychic," and Dave Foley's like, knows that it's full of shit, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool. Why don't you do a psychic reading on our friend here?" And she's doing like, "Oh, let me read your palm," and she's like stroking his palm, and he's
Mhm.
like licking his lips like he's looking at a bucket of chicken or something, like really getting into it.
Oh,
And
I
then
came.
exactly.
Well,
First time for everything.
he also Dave Foley can't just say, "Oh, go." He has to be the gay best friend. He's like, "Well, Miss Dionne Warwick, why don't you have a good shot at it? I'm sassy."
Mhm.
That's kind of a funny line,
Sure,
though.
sure.
The Dionne Warwick psychic hotline, dude, was huge. It
I
hadn't gone down for fraud yet.
Thank you.
The golden
Uh,
days, huh?
Yeah. Oh, sure, dude. She made a lot of money off that. I don't know if she lost it all or what.
We got to
but,
start our own psychic hotline. I've got a feeling about you folks listening.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So like she just starts bullshitting and she's like, "Oh, you're from Alaska," and blah blah blah. And like, yeah, because he thinks she's pretty and he's really getting turned on right now. He's like, yeah, right, Alaska. Yeah, right, yeah.
Juno, not the other one. Yeah, cool.
Right. There's the trivia off with Dave Foley about Alaska facts.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm really excited and loving this movie right now.
Do you guys catch
Again,
what's going on here?
What?
Alicia Silverstone, they're all sipping champagne cocktails here. Alicia Silverstone's sitting watching this Alaska off happening.
Mhm.
She's sitting in front of a tower of Blockbuster videotapes.
Yes, that's right.
Oh.
Massive stack of Blockbuster
Blast
tape
from
cases.
the past right there.
Yeah, I was having my own blast from the past looking at those tape cases, dude.
Isn't it right after this when we get Sissy Spacek coming up?
Yeah,
from
just
the-
about.
She's got a cigarette and a fucking drink. She is wasted, and she comes up and she sees the cult of Joey Slotnick that has come up. And like I we've already hammered it, but like of course she'd be like, "Oh, other people? Of course I'm here.
Yep.
Of course I'm going to stay here. What are you doing? You're chanting at nothing. I'm here for that. Let's do that. I love that." But no, she's just it's like supposed to be a laugh. She looks she peers over her shoulder, sees them all being weird, and is like, just goes right back down.
Yep.
So
Takes a sip of her
scared.
martini and
Yes.
goes back down. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
So Dave Foley, as his role as gay best friend, gives Adam a glow up here. They go shopping. No actual shopping montage or I'm too sexy trying on clothes montage, which I guess is fine because I'm pretty sure that's an Encino Man. But this
Right.
is like they just come home with shopping
He
bags.
also comes home with rollerblades. Earlier in the film, Christopher Walken invents rollerblades down in the bunker or whatever.
Sure.
Because whatever. But
Oh yeah, because he's like, oh, I had to make your roller skates bigger because of your huge fucking caveman feet.
And-
So here's these newly designed rollerblades I made
Yeah,
for
and
you.
he
yeah.
asks Eve if he could skate around her block, and Foley's got a good retort of like, "Well, Eve, can he skate around your block?"
Yeah, that's not too bad. So they go to like a skate park on the beach or whatever, and there's Brendan Fraser's doing some hardcore rollerblading in this
Sure, he's
scene.
having fun.
And you know, we're doing things that the movie likes to like throw out, but it's not going to do an absolute goddamn thing with. Like he rollerblades past a bunch of homeless people.
Mm.
Never asked Alicia Silverstone about that. It's just like, homeless people. I'll nod at them and keep going.
Or
Are
even be
those
like-
mutants?
Exactly.
Are those mutants
Yep.
too?
Yep. Like that's what you set up, movie, right? Like theoretically, then he sees those people, he should be fucking saying something like that. But it's like he looks and sort of like politely nods, and that's all the movie cares to do with
You
that.
know there has to be a gun in the bunker. He's going up there, up top side. He's shooting homeless people, thinking they're mutants.
I mean, there's a movie in there, dude, probably produced by Canon Films, but there's a movie in there.
Oh
Or
yeah,
trauma.
the John Milius blast from the past would be fantastic.
Oh, that would be something else, wouldn't it? It'd be the Fuhrer's bunker we're examining.
Jesus.
He's got all the plates. He's just polishing a rifle the whole 35 years. That's
Yeah.
all he's doing.
So this is where he sees the ocean for the first time. And again, like it's a thing
Yep.
from a different movie. You know, like if you know, the little boy from Room, you see him doing that in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's in that movie. That's fine for that movie in that tone, but this is like he's having this like actual moment, and it's Brendan Fraser who's a legitimate actor. So like in my view anyway, this scene, if you stuck it in some sort of like more seriously toned movie, this is all legit right here. And then it cuts back to like Alicia Silverstone and Dave Foley being like, isn't he a fucking idiot?
Yep.
And you're like, what do you want me to feel about any of this?
But it's also played without dialogue either. It's just sort of
Right.
like
Yeah.
they're just like there's music or whatever bullshit song is on. And they're just like smiling at each other. I'm like, what? Yeah, what am I supposed to feel here? Tell
It's
me.
supposed to be a warm, like because they change it to a warmer song. Like
Yes.
there's definitely supposed to be a contemplative thing when he sees the homelessness, he sees the hot girls rollerblading, and
Right.
then he sees the ocean. And like you're supposed to definitely like, and they shoot Alicia Silverstone and Dave Foley as they're like, oh, he's a real person. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, he's touching water for the first time. He might be a real boy now. And I mean, like, I would have much preferred the fucking the Jimmy Doherty taking care of business, flipping around like a dolphin. Jim Belushi, of course, knows how to
Yes.
do it the right way. Of course, no, but it's like this big religious. It's like Awakenings. It's like really fucking.
Yes, no, exactly.
Yes. It's fucking weird. Again, I don't know how the movie wants me to feel moment to moment when things like that happen. I definitely know how I was feeling watching Dave Foley teach Brendan Fraser how to do YMCA.
Yeah.
That's a fun little moment.
Little
Oh,
hump,
boy.
hump dancing, little hump
Yeah.
dancing.
Oh yeah, between
It's
friends.
just, but for who? Like what?
It's too much.
It's just so lame at this point. YMCA. That's like, come on.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. No, it's don't worry, Steve. It's stupid.
Again
Yes.
with like
Yes.
not control. Yeah, no, we need another 10 minutes. We cannot do 110 minutes. No, sir. No.
Well,
It's got to be closer.
Good for us. We're moving on to the date segment where he's trying to pick up ladies at the Squirrel Nut Zippers Song Emporium here.
Oh, Club 40s, dude.
Yes.
Where there's a dude. I mean, this sucks, right? Like, this sucks. There's a dude pretending to be Humphrey Bogart, like emceeing
I know,
the
It's,
evening.
it's rough.
I mean, look, what are we watching? Pulp fucking Fiction? Get out of here, Humphrey Bogart.
Am I in the world? Am I in the world of Brazil?
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why do you
Oh,
have a look-alike?
I kept expecting the mask to show up at the Club Coco
Yeah,
Bongo.
sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's where he goes, right?
Yep. But this is like, Dave Foley and Alicia Silverstone are taking him out to meet babes here or whatever. And there's a couple of moments in this movie where I'm like, there's definitely some deleted scenes here. One of which is the all men gay baseball league that's happening.
Yes.
Dave Foley takes him to that. That seems like there was more there. That's gone. And then also we meet this character that Alicia Silverstone's character clearly has a history with, this Sophie woman.
Yep.
And this is like Sophie scenes deleted. Like
Yeah.
there had to have been dialogue about like, this is what Sophie did that
She
makes
stole
Eve hate her,
This
yada yada.
boyfriend, that boyfriend, whatever. That's easy to do, right?
It is, but they don't do it. And it's just like, oh, she's just like, oh, you can't hit on that fucking bitch. Sophie or whatever. Like, stay away from that girl, Sophie, she says, like freaks out at him.
Because they have a French off for a second. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's fun. Because again, he has superpowers. Not that he would be malnourished both intellectually and physically by being in a fucking dark cave for 35 years with only his mother and father.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole joke is like, actually, that stuff made him the perfect man.
Yes,
Actually,
exactly.
being in the bunker was good. Really.
Having your best friends be your parents until you were 35 years old, indeed your only friends, was a perfect idea. And that should happen to everybody.
It should happen to everyone.
That 3 years where you were kind of sure you were a vampire, it made you grow. Being stuck down there, it was great.
So Dave Foley and Alicia Silverstone spy some ladies, or a lady or whatever, like across the way, and they're like, oh, all right, go over and say hi to this girl. Ask her if she wants to dance or whatever.
And
he
remember to
goes
lie
over.
to her because
Yes.
that's a part of dating.
You gotta lie. Everybody lies, they say, and she goes up. And this is kind of funny. It's just, I seem to have lost my Congressional Medal of Honor.
It's
like,
a good line, dude.
even though like the line he has is kind of like a Boy Scouty sort of.
Yeah,
thing,
it's cornball, and it can be charming in the right application.
And also,
And
it looks like
it's
a
a-
1990-something Brendan Fraser. So there you go.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
This
it's,
isn't the whale rolling up on them. That's for sure.
no.
Oh my God, that's another alternate ending for living 35 years in a cavern.
Dances up to Sophie, whips out a meatball sandwich, and just fucking goes for it.
Starts jerking off to internet pornography.
Uh-huh.
Or I think that guy was probably buying discs. He
Mm.
seemed like a DVD man in that movie.
Yeah, he likes
And
physical media.
A
That
man
seems
of
like
culture.
Then he
Yes.
ascends, right? Is that how that works? I never saw that
Yeah,
stupid.
somebody
Yes.
fucking turned the lights on and he got abducted by aliens at the end of that movie. That's like, I think what you're supposed to believe. Anyway, so this is it's the late 90s, man. I mean, the 90s in general. We got to have a dance number in our comedy. Here we go. Speaking of fucking Cuban Pete, he's going off. He's dancing with two chicks at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And it's only because, guys, he's only this talented and charming and lucky with the ladies because his dad and mom gave him dance lessons every day for his entire life.
they gave him the dance lessons. They gave him the German and French lessons. It was great being down there for his personality. It was
It
a
was.
fantastic move,
It was
and they should do it.
perfect.
We should do it more often. You know what? We got a lot of parents who are listening these days.
Mhm.
Build a bunker and throw
Oh,
your kids down there.
I have
It's a
fully
great
support-
idea.
I fully support this, Chris. I'm hearing way too many things about people's kids. Take that shit underground, pal.
Yeah, you know what? Fresh air overrated. Not enough people are saying it.
You know what?
Yeah.
More for me then, Chris.
Yeah.
More for
It's
me.
true.
But because of this smooth operator dancing that he's doing, Alicia Silverstone realizes Eve is like, oh, wait a second. Am I getting horny right now?
Mhm.
And I'm also getting jealous for some reason. Oh no, I like this guy. And like the song finishes and he's like, oh, excuse me, ladies, I'm go talk to my friend or whatever. These girls are so horny because of the dancing. They're gonna just go home with each other. Like it doesn't even fucking matter. Like,
Yeah.
we just gotta fuck something really quickly. It's that guy was that sexy doing those dance moves.
Tell me what you want to fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like he tries to go and talk to Alicia, who ex-boyfriend Nathan Fillion is at the bar and they're doing shots together, and he's gonna go over and see what's going on. And here's Cliff. Nathan Fillion, very baby-faced Nathan Fillion.
Sure.
in this
Yeah,
movie.
still very attractive.
Yeah.
And it's like he's being a douchebag, and Brendan Fraser kind of doesn't understand. And then it's like we're gonna get in a fight. But again, thankfully,
Superpowers.
Christopher Walken taught him boxing every day. He's doing like rapid, like quick punches,
Yes.
just like knocking this dude in the nose.
And like it's kind of like it's almost funny the way that it's happening, but it's not, because he just like it looks like he has a cold at the end of it. I'm like, what happened?
I think it is
Yeah.
a little funny towards the end when Nathan Fillion is like, well, okay, good night, or whatever. He starts playing along that he's leaving. I think it has moments here.
It's pretty funny, but like I wish there was like maybe a little bit of a bloody nose or something. I mean,
Sure,
that's like
yeah.
nitpicky, but it is funny because what it is he keeps trying to sucker punch Brendan Fraser, and Fraser gets him every time. And the way that like the funny part about it is the way that Fillion passes it off
Yes,
is like,
yes.
oh, I just got punched in the face. Oh yeah, I probably should go. Yeah, that sounds about right. But it's just, again, I don't know. I've spent like 100 and however many minutes at this point not laughing at this movie. I'm not in the mood to
No.
laugh at this movie.
No.
Sorry, Nathan Fillion.
So he
Fillions.
goes home with Sophie and Alicia Silverstone's like, oh my God. But he didn't, because he left and he's back again.
Quick
Well, he
little
comes. Yep, go ahead.
aside really quickly, because basically Alicia Silverstone goes home first. She
Yeah.
like storms out, and then like Dave Foley comes home and he's like, yeah, he did not leave with me. He left with, and as he's discussing this, he goes into their book room and he picks up Charles Bukowski's War All the Time. And I'm like, what is this guy reading Charles Bukowski for? Anyway, that was bizarre for me.
I mean, he's getting ready for the end, I assume.
I
if
guess
you're
so.
reading-
He's
if you're
gonna-
reading that shit, I don't know. I mean, what's funny about this is where like I think Dave Foley's actually a terrible friend in this scene, because
Mhm.
they're talking, and Alicia Silverstone is clearly very jealous and as we said, horny. She's got some hornacy issues. And she says something, and Dave Foley's like, well, you're not saying love. And
Mhm.
like it's very clear he's like, you're in love with the stupid boy who
Mhm.
we met. And like no, she's not. Like, first of all, no, she's not. She's in lust, maybe
Yes.
maybe she's starting to have
Sure.
feelings that but like, of course he just immediately feeds into it, and he's just like, you know what, no, it's love. Get out there. And I would like to imagine it's because he wants the house to himself.
I was just gonna say, dude, I think he wants that house because at some point he just becomes the roommate. I don't think that was always the case in the
No,
movie.
I don't think so.
But
it's
at
weird.
some point he is clearly just living there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
living there. And then like she decides to rush off to Sophie's to, I don't know, do a murder suicide, which is
Or it's like there's a whore living in your building.
Sure.
We'll see. Like maybe that situation we're gonna try out.
maybe some Carrie. She'll get some pig blood on the way. You know what I mean?
Great
There's a whore
idea.
in this. There's a whore in this building, and I would like to be that whore instead.
But no, Brendan Fraser just rolls up in a cab and he's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
And she freaks out because he fucking bangs on the window or
Yes.
whatever. And she runs out of the car and freaks out and like twists her ankle or falls over. She scrapes her knee. We got a big, sexy, these pants are destroyed, right? Okay, I'm going to rip them open even more to get at this scraped knee that you
But
have.
very importantly, before that happens, he brings her in and he's like, "Oh, hey, Dave Foley." And Dave Foley just looks at him and is like, Adam, she's not looking for a boy. She's looking for a man. And like,
Mm.
he has a moment. And then for the rest of the movie, Brendan Fraser stops artificially lightening his voice, and he just starts talking with his normal deep voice. It's like,
No, is that true?
It
I
just-
didn't even notice.
he just starts
Yeah.
to, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" As opposed to be like, "Wow, gee willikers, this is fun." It's like,
Yeah.
"Can I sit you down here?" Wow, ooh,
But-
ooh. And it's like he's sexy guy, and I'm like, why were you doing? Who were you doing that for? If you could turn it off.
But I'm sorry, Dave Foley. Again, you're wrong. She clearly is very attracted to the boy.
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
true.
boy she's into. Like I don't
But
know
the
about
man
this.
was doing that sexy dancing with the swing music.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Maybe.
sure.
Because that's when she realizes, oh, I'm horny for this
Right.
guy.
It's a man child at the end of the day.
Yes.
So he's like singing Perry Como's "The Street Where You Live" to her, and they start
Yes.
kind of like making out for a little bit, and then she's like, have you ever had sex before? And he's like, no. And while we're on the subject, this is a great time for me to spill the beans about my weird upbringing in a bomb shelter.
And she's like, oh, I think it's time for you to leave, which is one thing. But then she tries to have him committed, which is like such an insane
It is.
overreach.
It's an,
For like, he's completely harmless.
and there's child protective services for adults, I guess.
I was confused about that myself.
I don't know what
response
legal
time though
Yes.
is ridiculous to this. They're immediately there, being like, "You're going away now."
Yeah,
There-
actually, our whole week is open. Yeah, you want us to come at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.? We can go. We have no appointments at all this week. I don't know how this happened.
Oh, you need someone dragged away against their will? Oh yeah, no, I'll be right over.
Oh, he says he grew up in a bomb shelter. Well, yeah, he should spend the rest of his life in a fucking mental institution. Got it. Got it.
Did you guys notice when he's spilling the beans about, my dad was a genius and he built this shelter or whatever, he is kind of saying this, it reminded, I don't think it's a reference to this necessarily, because many projects could have had this, but it made me think of Oppie and the Manhattan Project, because he says that Christopher Walken utilized compartmentalization while building the bunker, because he says it's all this shit about like, oh yeah, he never told everybody what he was working on, but he had these people do this little thing for him, and these other people did this other little thing for him, and he brought it all together and built the bunker. And I was like, compartmentalization, Oppie.
Yes.
Now I have
Genius.
become Cramden, bringer of death.
Now I've become Cramden, driver of bus. But yeah, so she's gonna fucking throw up, and she just says, I think it's time to call a cab. And this is there's a funny audio joke here of like, he's like, oh, good night, Eve. And she's like, yeah, good night, closes the door, and you hear like multiple locks immediately clicking.
I guess so. I guess you would be this freaked out. I don't know. Like, it just seems like
No,
everything else.
I don't buy any of this.
When you know about this guy, like, he's totally harmless. He's a really nice guy. Blah blah blah. Maybe he's a little bit off because he believes this, but it's just really bizarre.
No,
This is where we go.
Yeah.
it just makes no sense. Like, even as like somebody would be like, well, it's supposed to be funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny at all.
It's not, the decision's not funny.
There's
so why is it funny?
there's a good Joey Slotnick joke that I think is funny in response to this, when he finds the bunker again, and he finds who, I guess he's calling himself an archbishop now of this new religion. And Brendan Fraser says, I think I'm being chased by a psychiatrist. And he says, it happens.
Yeah.
That is very funny. But like, all of this is just pointless.
The scene where this social services, when he realizes that this person is coming to like take him somewhere, it turns into a completely different movie. And Brendan Fraser is turning on the dramatic chops, and he's like, if I could just go home, I promise I won't bother any of you ever again. And I'm like, when am I going to be laughing again? Is there an ETA on the yucks? What is going on?
I don't get it. I don't understand. It's such a bizarre. And then they watch him get chased by this other guy, and then like I think while he's being chased, like Dave Foley is like, "Hey, that's fucked up." She's like, "Why?" And he explains it to her. And she's like, "Wait a second, I take it back." I'm like, "What the fuck even happened?"
I mean, yeah, you don't know. And so Adam gets it in their supply van and speeds off and runs away. So Eve and Troy, by the way, is the name of Dave Foley's character, are like going around trying to look for him. They go to this hotel room that he was at the Holiday Inn and like somehow just get right in. And, he's like, oh, they find the stock certificates. Like, oh yeah, look at all these stock certificates that like Chris Walken, we do see, give him at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
And it's
IBM,
AT&T,
AT&T,
kind of stuff.
all these big companies. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like Dave Foley just has this line that I think is like straight out of a Kids in the Hall sketch, where he's just like, Eve, do you think maybe his home's underneath a dirty bookstore in the valley?
Yes. It's a great delivery. And they go there, and like there's this weird part where they're the porn bookstore, like stomping on the floor to find the secret passage. That's something.
And I loved what's going on here because like it must have been a functioning adult bookstore / tape shop or whatever. Because I don't know why you would like stock a set this way, knowing what would happen to you, but like they had to blur out all the porno tape titles because they're like those are always incredibly graphic as well. And to preserve the PG-13 rating, like you watch the scene, it's just blurred out everywhere. All like it's a huge tape store.
I mean,
and there's all these blurred out covers.
This title itself sounds like a porno, right? Blast from the Past.
It's true.
Yeah, Blast in Your Ass, Volume 4.
Ass blasters. Yes.
But yeah, like he calls it's pointless. She never even gets this message. He calls her, leaves a message like, I wish all your dreams come true, blah blah blah.
What a sweetie.
And they're just driving down the block and she spies him. Like they're driving away, like Dave Foley's pulling away. There's a weird thing where teens are making fun of Dave Foley's car, which is kind of funny. And like as they're stopped at this light, these kids are like, shitty car, asshole. And then she sees him walking and she's like, Adam, and just gets out of the car and they just start making out. And I was like, all right, well, that fucking answering machine message was for nothing.
And cool, that's the end of the movie, right? And then we just go downstairs and tell mom and dad that everything's okay. No, this is when Alicia Silverstone is in a voiceover booth, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? She starts narrating the end of the movie. It was like,
I can't believe this. The 11th hour fucking voiceover narration.
It's like I was watching, our favorite WLM Dune 1984, where we're fucking fast forwarding to the end.
Right. Or like Blade Runner 1982, and it's just like, I never knew. Now I understood why he was in that bunker.
We're running out of time. Get Alicia in the voiceover booth. Explain it to her.
We have to have her explain to the audience why he's building a replica of his bunker out on a farmland.
Oh, God damn it. I wanted the Alicia Silverstone who manages the bookstore in Traverse City, Michigan. I didn't want the star of Clueless. Who did this?
Oh my God.
Another classic David Lynch casting bungle.
For more on that, Dune 1984 is our Patreon episode this month.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But yeah, so she starts saying like, oh, he's such a great guy. He loves his parents. And I got to meet them and they were super nice. And like, we have the scene of her meeting the parents, but it's really stilted because it's like surrounded by voiceover.
It's very bizarre. This feels
very douche chill.
This feels so cobbled together. Like we're desperately trying to keep this under 2 hours. I imagine there's a cut out there. Well, probably burned rightfully. That was 220 or something.
But I just love that the decision was not, let's have a smooth, comprehensive ending and ditch all the crap at the beginning with the bunker. No. That first useless half hour has to stand. And then the rest, we'll do the best we can. It's crazy.
I like how it ends with us just like narrowly avoiding Christopher Walken shooting Alicia Silverstone in the head because they're like, her last name is Eve Rustikov, and she's like,
right.
You see the fucking blood come in his eyes. Is that Russian?
It's like, no, Dad, it's Ukrainian. No. It's fine.
Ukrainian. No, put the rifle away, Dad. The rifle doesn't need to be at the dinner table.
But the craziest thing is like, so they go down and like, mom's like, oh, let me buy you something. You're such a sweet girl. And Brendan Fraser's like, listen, guys, I can't tell you why. You need to set the locks again for 2 more months, and then I'll come and get you. And they're like, well, if you say so, Junior. Again, you are begging for a murder-suicide. You're begging
absolutely. And it's going to be Sissy Spacek pulling the trigger on Christopher Walken.
Absolutely.
Maybe this,
and it's going to be like, I thought I could do it, but I know 35 years we accomplished it. But the prospect of another 2 months, I couldn't take it. I killed.
This is the plan, I think. It's like, and then maybe my parents will kill each other, and we'll be rid of them forever.
Well, I mean, it's such a dice roll because, like, yes, this system that this insane person, your father, built worked for 35 years. Why are you trying to think it's going to work anything past that? Like
Chris Walken he's when they bring her down, he is resetting the locks for an additional 10 years.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. No, he's got to be shot. No, he's got to be shot. I'm sorry.
No, maybe we go end of Mystic River. They go down. He goes down at the end. He goes down 2 months later, and it's just Sissy Spacek. And he's like, oh, what happened to Dad? And she's like, you know what, son, I just wish you worked a little faster. Just wish you could have got here just a little faster. And like pats him on the shoulder, and like, you don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, that would be chilling and great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they stuff these two old fogies back down in this bunker so he can go cash in all of these stock certificates and everything, become a millionaire, a multi-millionaire overnight. And Alicia's got this whole thing in her fucking half-ass narration that's like, oh yeah, well, the fastest way to get anything done is you just say money is not a problem or whatever. And it's like they've had this house built in just 2 months and blah blah blah. And
Yes.
she's just like telling you all this, and you're like, man, where are those credits?
And it's like, oh, we realized that we needed to bring them back slowly, which I don't understand why. You know what I mean? Like, so
They've
like,
already been above ground.
they've been above
Yeah.
ground. They know what's going on. Why do you need to put them in this nightmarish 1960s house? Again, the last place I would want to be is in a place that it looked exactly like the place I was there, in prison for 35 years.
Mhm.
And the movie is like really planting a seed for like a terrifying thing that it's never going to address, because there's no Blast from the Past 2, of course.
Certainly
but like the whole thing, and this is kind of more interesting than the movie itself, but like Christopher Walken, his character doesn't believe anything that Brendan Fraser's telling him. And he's like, because he's like, Dad, the Soviet Union collapsed, the Cold War ended without a shot being fired, blah blah blah. And he's like, that's just the kind of thing that a crazy Soviet would want dispersed
Yes.
throughout all the information. You know what I mean? So like he's still wired to think that it's all a fucking scam and it's just a big Soviet plot. And because the last shot of the movie is him he's measuring the length of
Yes.
the yard by like his stride, as if to say, I'm building another bunker in this
Ooh,
backyard.
honestly,
Oh.
not a bad idea, at least right now in 2024.
Yeah, blast from the past 2, and you're having a baby in there. You're
Oh, yeah,
forcing having,
sure.
the grandchild's got to be born. You were born this way. Why not your child be born this way, in a terrible way, the worst possible way, far from a hospital?
I agree.
it's a-
Tradition is important.
It's
Yeah.
Blast from the Past 2, and it's Nancy Pelosi who's still terrified of Russians for some reason.
You're a Chinese agent, is what you are.
Uh-huh.
And it
Uh,
needs to be Blast from the Past 2 premiering on Shudder. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
But the last line of the movie is, "Don't tell your mother," and it's like, so this woman has to live in ignorance as to what the real world is. Like, I just don't. It is a chilling. The way that they treat this character, this mother character, is so bizarre.
Yeah,
Don't
but
get it.
it gets more chilling than that, Steve. You undersold it, because we end the movie with a Randy Newman song.
Yeah, it's Randy Newman's Political Science, which is just like, we're gonna drop a bomb on each other, start dropping bombs, baby. I mean, it's not that, but that's
It's pretty much that.
it's his big Cold War song. or whatever. Yeah, so that was a nice kick in the ear right at the end of this movie. But that is it. That is Blast from the Past, a really ill-directed and written film. Go around the horn here for some final thoughts. Eric Siska.
Yeah, you could do worse. It has some charming little moments of, it's cute enough, but the more we talked about it, the more I soured on it a bit. Not really a recommend from me, but you could do worse.
Yeah, I'll hop in and say, yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't know, it's a light recommend in the way of like, if you think Brendan Fraser is a charming actor, like he's also doing that here. So, punch the card for your Fraser filmography, I guess. But I wouldn't say there's literally any other reason to watch it whatsoever, because it's a movie with a terrifying, creepy premise. It's just played for goofs, and the goofs aren't even making you laugh. Chris Cabin.
I mean, no, I don't think it gets much worse. This is
Yeah, no, I
pretty
predicted
fucking
this.
bad. It's just like tonally incompetent at every edge. Like, there's just nothing going on here. Like, the reason I gave it 2 stars, and all of that is for Brendan Fraser. That is every
Sure.
inch of that is for Brendan Fraser, because I don't even think he's good in this, but that's because the character is so terribly written as either a comic instrument or as like an actual character. Either
Right.
version sucks and doesn't work. So like, I just don't know what good I'm supposed to get from this, other than like, oh, people I like are on screen. Like,
Yeah.
it to me, it just, nothing about it works, and it tries everything.
I would say you could get worse with this, and this director did with the same star because Dudley Do Right
Well,
is a worse
yeah.
movie.
Oh,
than
I'm
this.
sure.
I would have to rewatch it. I would have to give it a second view.
We should do a double feature of that in the fucking Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle movie with Jason Alexander. Steve Sadak, final thought of the program.
Oh,
Yes, there we go. Correct.
Steve had to leave as he's taking a shit.
He's
No.
doing that with his mouth, folks. Okay, no conspiracy theories.
that's not what I did in the hospital. No, I didn't care. I watched it a couple years ago, and I didn't remember disliking it as much as I did last night. Something about it is so rudderless, so aimless, and like just fumbles this pretty okay kooky premise. Like you could just imagine that there's like like she works for a job wherein like maybe his 1960s factoids make sense, and like she's like, wow, he's like a trivia master or something. You know what I mean? Like there's just a world in which there's a cute version of this that is a little less sweaty and a little less creepy. And number one is just making Sissy Spacek just okay with it. You know what I mean? Like just turn that button where she's just okay with it. Yeah, it's not a recommend for me. No.
Well, that is going to do it, folks, for this episode on Blast from the Past. As always, if you want more We Hate Movies, check out that Patreon, patreon.com/We Hate Movies, where this month, yes, indeedly do, the We Love Movies episode all about David Lynch's Dune from 1984. That episode's a lot of fun. I think we might be opening some eyes for folks with that movie, which I think is very cool. Also, big reminder, of course, right? Because when this comes out, you still have a few more days. If you're downloading this on the day it comes out, you got 2 more days, I believe, to catch the replay of our Flash show. Head over to moment.co/We Hate Movies. That was a lot of fun.
Yes,
You're going to want to get on that.
It's a full video episode of us doing our episode on The Flash live, and it is a lot of fun. There's even an after party where we hang out and answered questions you can't ask them now, but it happened.
Right.
But you can check that out as well.
That's right. Moment.co/We Hate Movies. Now, also on the Patreon this month, folks, Once in a Lifetime coming back. Chris Cabin, what are we talking about?
We're talking about The Walls Are Watching, just a showcase for one Branscombe Richards, a star Richmond, a star you've never heard of. And he's a bit actor, I guess, in Batman Returns. That's about it. But really,
and Renegade, of course,
and Renegade, the show I haven't seen. But yes, we're talking about that. We're talking about foreclosures in America. We're talking about a lot of fun stuff.
Talking about some pseudo hider in the house kind of stuff, but not really. So that was a hell of a lot of fun. Eric Sisko, who are we talking about in the Gleep Glossary this month?
We're going way back to the Mos Eisley Cantina finally to talk about Cabe and Mufftack. This is a dynamic duo here, a little guy and a big guy, and we'll be getting into their whole history on the show.
You're going to want to get double orders of that, Eric, because I go right through the Mufftack.
Okay, yeah, two Cabe and Muffcats for the Mufftack. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay, yeah, no, I know Hablo Star Wars. Yeah, for the table. Thank you.
And then on AD, Steve, what cartoon are we talking about?
We are talking about a Kathy Valentine's Day special from, I believe, the early 80s, I want to say. We're going deep on the YouTube. You could find it on YouTube kind of a scenario. But I think we found this a couple weeks ago.
It looks bone chilling.
It fits Valentine's Day. We need to talk about Kathy, the comic book strip character. That we haven't recorded that yet, but I'm going to guarantee that's a barn burner. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. All this and more, including ad-free We Hate Movies episodes if you subscribe at the $8 level or up.
That's right.
Up also gets you Melrose 210, of course, a very popular show about Melrose Place.
That's right.
And Beverly Hills 90210.
And we have our Star Trek show, The Nexus, as usual. Also, come see us live on the road. We'll be in Atlanta, Georgia on April 25th of this year, 2024. We'll be in Houston, Texas, May 14th. We'll be in Austin, Texas, May 15th. Tickets and more information all available on whmpodcast.com/tour.
And because this is coming out the day after we've officially announced it, we do know what those titles are going to be for those shows, right? So Atlanta, Which one do we got in Atlanta? That's Gamer.
That's Gamer
Game.
in Atlanta. RoboCop 2 in Houston, Texas.
And then a We Love Movies live episode on one of the all-time greats from Dusk Till Dawn, Robert Rodriguez's own QT's Foot Fetish on full display. That's going to be a ton of fun. So those are the movies that we're talking about on the first leg of our 2024 tour. Now, Steve Sadek, next Tuesday, the show continues. We have another We Hate Movies episode locked and loaded. What will we be talking about then?
We will be talking about a Notting Hill, another romantic comedy, just in time for Valentine's Day, guys.
Aw.
Right. This is
Aw.
Jules. We're getting into Julia.
I feel like I've seen this movie once, but maybe just once.
I've never seen it, so exciting for me.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. It's a bunch of British people, Eric. You're gonna lose your
Oh,
mind.
don't get me
Oh,
started.
Lord
Oh my
knows.
God.
Now I'm gonna play fucking Find the Doorknob. Awesome.
I, for one, think this is a wacky but totally charming movie, so it'll be enjoyable to talk about because, of course, it's Jules, but it's also, Eric, very nervous Hugh Grant, so you got that going for you. Oh, he's doing plenty of that.
That's
throughout
quite a lot.
So until next week when we're chatting Notting Hill, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadek.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.